Jazz around like an ocean in my head.
And what is going on, people? And welcome to a CEA special event. Myself, Cup of Frank here. I'm Joe of Laz. And talking of a special event, Laz, what have we got on the delicacy menu today? What delight have we got for everyone watching?
So for anybody just tuning in, this is the CEA Valorant Grand Final. So a total prize pool, $2,750, which of course gets split between the first team and the second place team. But some big cash up for grabs. I mean, first place, $1,650 with also some Corsair keyboards. I mean, all right. I mean, I wish I could be in this right now and just get straight into the competition.
We're on the wrong side of the desk, Laz. I think there's been a mistake. Sorry. Production, no, me and Laz were supposed to be playing today in the final. There's a bit of a confusion. No, actually, we're on the casting desk. Someone has to talk about it, and we are the two to do so. So welcome. If it's your first time joining us, have a look and see what you've got here. But if you are coming back and you know what's to come, yes, you're ready for JC and the gang to be clicking heads left, right, and center. This is going to be the potential BO3. And for the first two maps, from what we've got from our wicked production, give us all the ammo and the juicy goss to talk about. Starting off with Ascent and Haven would be map number 2 for what we have, Laz. We don't, quite frankly, have lots and lots of information on this team from our personal casting experience, but from what we've been talking of, quite a high caliber of Valorant to expect today, Les, from what we spoke of.
Definitely so. But I mean, before we get into anything, I mean, we got to thank the production. We got to thank the sponsors here today. And we got a few that we want to talk about. So the first and foremost, of course, is going to be new esports apparel. Make sure to check them out. You get some six swag. Look good while you game. Like, I mean, that's pretty plain and simple. And I mean, talking about Rogue Energy, I mean, what better way to get amped for a game than having some Rogue Energy?
Of course, what use is having lots of energy if you don't have good equipment to go with your clothes and all that vibe as well? So Corsair sets, keyboards, mice, and the headsets, the whole 9 yards. Check them out, and obviously you know where to find Corsair. And GLG, of course, the phenomenal and professional tournaments and streams. GLG hosts weekly Valorant tournaments. For more info, DM the GLG Twitter account and GLG CEA. So much talent that's been brewed from the grassroots. We've seen them go from seedlings, Laz, and they turn into full-fledged trees and flowers here. So let's see who is going to be the victor of today's matchup and get into things very, very shortly here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're talking about the bowl teams, so it's going to be San Jose University versus CPP. So we're just going to keep it very short. It's easier to say. Of course, California State Polytech University. So good matches ahead underway, and you got a big roster, which we will have on the screen eventually momentarily. But you got Roki, Party Kid, Fant, and also JC, as well as this Ketchup Spicy. I mean, we can already see it now looking at the roster. Fancy graphics, of course, here, and talking about that production quality. And I mean, we're already looking at some of the agent selections, of course, too. And it's going to be the first map, which will be Ascent. I mean, definitely an interesting map, and definitely going to be having to see which way it'll go here for both squads.
It's a bit of a skirmish for that first map. And Ascent, we've seen so much Ascent recently, Les, especially that high level of play. It's quite shocking for me because, frankly, from that sort of player level, from the consensus and from our experience, Ascent not really a fan favourite by any means. And I think that comes from, it's just an aim duel, isn't it? Aim battle everywhere you go, long angles. It's a hard map.
It really is. I mean, it's just not like your typical map. I mean, it's a big map. Mid control is really important, of course. And I mean, it's long rotates, for the defensive side. So really interesting setup, but also a lot of choke points. So it definitely makes it a little bit easier for that defense to kind of hold things down. But it all comes down to how well you use your abilities, the timing and the coordination from that attacking side. So it's going to be interesting to see how well that San Jose can do this on their attack to start things off. Or my apologies, Cal Poly.
Being attacking San Jose, and in the light of San Jose, I'm glad you did bring them up. We've gone through obviously the roster of CPP, and we'll keep it short, so keep up with the acronyms, the abbreviations. We'll try our best, and something that we're trying to work on, not just the phrases, the acronyms and the pronunciations too. So if it's like, hey, that's not how you say that player's name, give us a shout. Coming from the neck of the woods from San Jose, we've got Thigwerp, really interesting pronunciation of that one. Choi Boy, Nasi, and Bear. It's spelled backwards in game though, so don't be be fooled. And we do have Len as well. I like you saved the spicy names to me. You kept the ketchup spicy, though. You kept the ketchup.
I might have done a little bit of reading ahead of time, and I was like, oof, I know which one I want. So, and I mean, just talking a little bit about San Jose. So I know like some of the team captains and things like that were making some comments. And I know from Fig, he was mentioning that, they're excited that they're able to compete and having an avenue to play and everything like that, especially during these, interesting times with the pandemic and things like that. So definitely grateful, and big shout out to, of course, the support staff and everybody on their side. So really interesting and nice perspective here from the IGL over at San Jose.
From CPP, talking with Roki and everyone as well. Yeah, it's that general but they would want to play, and you can't go to lands right now, or there is less lands than more in our current state of affairs, and just everyone is super hyped to be here and enjoying what CEA have been putting on. So hopefully you're going to enjoy it as well today with the best of three you've got here. As Lad had mentioned, this isn't just for a couple of marbles, or any pogs, if you remember the pogs. They have some pog champs though, because one team is going to have 16.50 in their pocket, and they'll be laughing their way to the bank for the weekend, the online ATM as it will be. On that note, I believe we're getting to Ascent very shortly. Have you got any pre-guesses? You're like, Les, what's the educated coach brain saying to you? San Jose or Cal Poly from what we've got on paper?
It's hard to narrow it down. Like, I mean, I feel like, defensive side, like I always kind of give that slight favor, what we've seen from all the matches here in the league so far. It's interesting because defense seems to always kind of be every team's like better side. So part of me thinks that San Jose, can pull something through potentially on their defense, but Ascent's a tough map. Like I really think the split evenness of having the attack and the defense, it's not like more favored on one side. So that's what makes it kind of questionable. And of course, it's going to be more questionable with what agents are going to be selected, because I'm really interested to see what the both teams land with.
That is fire for analysis right there, coming from your neck of the desk there, pal. And you're definitely right. Agents, so essential. You've got to have that right agent pick on Ascent. You see commonly, usually have a Reina. Someone play a different agent for Ascent, and particularly just so they can swap out and maybe have a bit more util to close off that mid angle when you're going through courtyard and crack off up cat, and you've got your way into sight. So whatever they will choose, the players, and we'll get into that momentarily. And I know, speaking with some previous casters that have been at the CA desk also, JC got some cracking shots in the form of one tap. So maybe if we see that today, are San Jose going to be in a little bit of trouble? Time will tell.
And definitely, the one thing I want to make note of too is like, we are having a best, potential best of three here. So for anybody that is watching, make sure to clip some things. Like, I mean, we could potentially make some montages, some cool videos, things like that. So make sure if you catch something good, big action from any team, make sure to clip it and make sure to post it, of course, because we definitely like seeing those things. We love the interaction with the community. So definitely expecting a very good game from both squads here for the grand finals.
And in Valorant itself, as it evolves, and we're talking of it, and if you've played it since Alpha Beta, if you just tune in now, like, just checking out Valorant this weekend, it's growing really, really quickly. We even saw, was it 6 overtimes in the game we cast recently, lads? Was it 6?
I think it was 6, yeah. So like hitting the 20 marks or something like that. But we'll have to see if these guys are, a little bit hungry and going to be fighting all the way that distance, but we don't know. I mean, things could happen either way. I mean, and that's the thing about Ascent and the map pool that we have. You can definitely see those close games, but you can also sometimes see like how well the agent selection can really make the biggest difference on the squads. Like maybe we'll see something from San Jose that they want to try something different, where maybe CPP isn't predicting, or the other way around. Like maybe CPP has something up their sleeves, and we've seen some adjustments to some of the Sentinel agents too. So it does kind of put that big question mark on a lot of teams' abilities right now.
On the mark of questionable abilities in the sense of how abilities are used. I was watching Flights earlier. I know we've spoken about Flights before, quite a big YouTuber. He does his streams as well, and potentially is one of the best raises in the world right now, and simply based off his movement. So off of that fact, if you've not checked out Flights, check him out if you want to say what kind of duelist movement you can use. But off of that notion and how custom his playstyle is, anyone can do that. You can use Reyna in that certain way with that certain leer that you chuck through. It's such a unique game that I really think we're just beginning to see what people could do in Valorant, and this grand final, hopefully we'll see some more and some new moments to come.
Yeah, I mean, even just talking a little bit more about even San Jose, I mean, just talking about some of the Starlight players. I mean, there was Len and, of course, also Bear. They were definitely some of those players that are known to be putting up big numbers. And like you said, like there's certain agents that a little bit more selfish that can pull big numbers. And when they pull the big numbers, they can make the bigger impacts, things like that. But we'll have to wait and see. But I know San Jose, they got some good players. They got some star players. I mean, not taking anything away from CPP, of course. But I mean, just knowing that, Thig has mentioned that he does have some strong players, they're feeling confident.
He's doing a bit of this, isn't he? There's no guns there. This is more like a water pistol, if anything. I think the shirt color might help kind of connote what it is, but
I don't even see it.
So
that's weird.
Can you not see? I thought might have to keep working out. There's a weight here, but I'm not going to embarrass myself and pick it up, and I'll be the one clipped as I fall off my chair, not winning 1650 and looking like an absolute loser. One of these teams, though, is going to be a loser, unfortunately, in the form of getting sent packing. They will have some cash to take in kind, though, so the loser does not go home empty-handed today. Have a little look here. It's going to be some Corsair headsets being thrown their way, and 1100 in cash. So for a second place, you're not really a loser at all. You're maybe a little bit of a loser, but you've got a smile on your face, don't you, lads, if you come in second?
I mean, really, you do. I mean, at this point, like, first place, you get $1,600 cash plus, the keyboards, which obviously is great. But second place, I mean, you do get some headsets. You're still making a substantial amount of money. So, I mean, either way, it's more going to be about pride and who really wants to take things home and be the champs and winning the grand final. I mean, everybody, of course, wants to. But, I mean, both prizes are great. And a big kudos to both these teams for pulling all the way through the CEA Valorant season so far.
And that's it, innit? They've earned their slot here. Both teams, they've not just turned up and been like, oh, as they used to say or they say in England that used to say, put your boots on. At least you put your boots on and turned up. Not at all. They've put their boots on. They've run around the track a couple of times. They've kicked it to the back of the net with all the heads they've clicked, and here they are. So the Consolation Pros of getting some headsets. It's pretty sick getting some money for the privilege of being here, but they're not here for that. That's it. They're here for the principle. We want to win, and we don't really care about those prizes. We could get $0. It's about going for that big dub as we make our way into Ascent very, very shortly.
Yeah, so like we said, we are just waiting for the players to kind of get everything finalized, and how the whole thing goes. It's always a little bit delays. I mean, that's just how typically it can be. But big shout out, of course, again to our production staff and everybody, of course, and all the admins and everything like that too. But finally, looks like things are underway, making the switch over, and will be Ascent, like we said, for map number 1. And now you can see this is going to be the agent selection. So going to be interesting to see where we go with a map like Ascent. You can definitely be a little bit more creative than you can on other maps where we typically see the standard pick. But we're going to wait and see for those lock-ins, and it already looks like CCP is already locked in on their Sova, Jet, and even their Breach with their Omen. So not too surprising so far.
Going for that full send over on the attacking side there, and Killjoy being nerfed and all. You're not really seeing a Killjoy making an appearance either. So agent nerfs, something else we really didn't even take consideration as we went for the build-up here, but it's very true from what you're seeing. You've got the Breach, you've got some util. Oh, we do see a Killjoy, so okay, it'll be fun. He's got some tricks.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, and I was kind of mentioning this before. I mean, Sentinels right now, like, there's a little bit of an adjustment on them just most recently. So going to be interesting to see what they want to do with the Killjoy, but it looks like, making a bit of a change. Not locked in, of course, but there is 3 agents picked, and it is Reyna going to be locked in. So now this fan just trying to decide where they want to go, and looks like it could be a Jet, and they only got 12 seconds left to make a decision. Agent. But a lot of duelists, with also, of course, the Omen being a great support player.
That is a lot of duelists, isn't it? And when you compare apples to apples from side to side, a lot more util support on the defender's side. And is that going to bode well for the way this game's going to start? I understand you're on the attacking side of the fence, but 3 duelists, I hope they're on form today.
And it is interesting too, because we do see the Breach that is on the other side here for defending. So it's just barely different, but it's just enough to be different. I mean, you definitely expect the Sovas to be on the play. You definitely expect there to be Omens. I mean, Omen is pretty much an instant pick, obviously. Jet, you can never go wrong. It's always those two agents I feel like you kind of have to work around.
You do. Jet, essential, isn't it? Essential bread and butter agent when it comes to Valorant. With her op plays, get that sneaky peek at mid. When you're looking at a map like Ascent 2, how prominent and dominant you have to be in that mid courtyard area, you've got to have some fast action, and that's why we've got the Rainers on both sides. You're right, you've got the Omens to get that coverage, and you don't really need a Brimstone anymore. It's funny, Brimstone's almost been phased out of the game, lads.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I mean, Brimstone, I definitely think brings a lot of value, but I think on a map like Ascent, I don't think it's quite the same. You know, I think Omen definitely being the ability of the smokes that you can pretty much throw them from any location in the map is so big, whereas compared to Brimstone, I mean, you got to kind of be in that premise. You got to be in that area to use your smokes properly. So when you play the Omen, you can definitely sell fakes a little bit easier. And of course, the Paranoia. The Paranoia is just deadly when you get hit with it.
Isn't it ever? Both these teams, lads, they're feeling Paranoia right now. The timer tick-tocking and taking its time as we do build our way up to the CEA final for San Jose versus CPP. Just to get that clarified, we're gonna use that as the abbreviation. Otherwise, it's gonna get a bit confusing.
It definitely will. You know, it's a little bit of a mouthful. You know, it's always makes things a little bit more difficult. But you know what? It wouldn't be a day without us. You know, kind of butchering a name or butchering up something. So I mean, that's just what we go back to, and that's okay. I mean, I'm all right with it right now.
Hey, we know what we're good at and know what we're bad at. So hey, just give everyone a laugh. Always worth a go. While you're back at looking at us, though, come frag and lads here for the CEA Valorant final, and this is going to be a scorcher of a game, as I believe we are going to get back into the mix. I see an agent pick again. It could be Deja Vu, it could be Groundhog Day, or it could be new selection. Not too sure. Looks like the same selection, so should be getting back into things.
Actually, I think production just got to my ear, and they were just informing that there was a bit of a difference on the agent selection. So I think they just wanted to change it, which, you know, it's a little cheeky, a little interesting, because I mean, you already see what your other teammates are gonna, or your foes are gonna have. So got a little bit of a read, but I think they only made the one adjustment where we see Killjoy is on the playing field, where I don't think she was before.
No, that replaced Jet, lads. That straight up replaced Jet. We were just mentioning that this sort of Jet was an essential player, and Killjoy or Jet was something that Fan was sort of switching back and forth. And apparently, the Killjoy plays are going to be the way.
I mean, I'm personally a huge fan of Killjoy. Like, I mean, I like playing Killjoy when I play in my ranked games, but it is tough because, like I said, Sentinels they're taking a little bit of a difference right now in the current meta. Definitely still make their impact, but just it's changing, right? And that's kind of the thing with the game, how it is right now, is it's just continuously growing and adapting, and we just see so many different varieties of agent selection, which personally I love. I think it's great.
It's awesome, isn't it? And an ever-growing game. Even talking of pistol buys for your pistol round, if you're looking at CSGO equivalent of what it would look like, the buys, they're so individual, and ghosts usually across the board for a team. No, keep it the classic, one ghost or two coming from Jet for the entry.
Already look at this, you can already see the attacking is already pushing their way into this A site. So only just having the one player, which will be Tig by himself, he's going to be the Omen, does have a little bit of ability, throw some smokes and everything like that, but the spike is going to get planted. So now we're back to a 5-5 situation. And we haven't even seen really any damage exchange except for just the one player. And now look at this. This is Party Kid taking down one, not able to get Bear, but he's able to capitalize, take down another. And they're pouncing this site, and it's falling apart here for the defense.
Jump shot there from Rocky. Super stuff. 2 versus 2. 2 versus 1, and then it's all down to 1 versus 1 Killjoy. We talked of it coming into play. Such a good play, and essential with the util from Killjoy. Wouldn't have happened if she wasn't in the game, lads. Imagine that.
Yeah, look at that. The Killjoy pans out very well, and already giving that first round to CCP. Already picking it up big, and Killjoy, which will be Fantas with a 2-0. Coming up big, not even falling yet, as all of his other teammates were going to be perishing, but they pull it big. I mean, now it's going to be a question of what we want to see here from San Jose. Do they want to go for any kind of force purchase? We only see a Sheriff, so nothing too crazy, but they decide to actually just stick with just the classics.
I respect that. Keep the money safe, nice and guarded for now, and don't take too many risks. You're in a funnel as well, so they're gauging their opponent well. They know they're going to be on that full buy. They've got Stinger City, and they're stacked up, lads, so looking for that trade.
You really are, and you got the Stingers out, and that's going to be the one-way smoke that's blocking it off. A little bit different. They're just going to be posted up, just hanging out on the corner, waiting to see when these guys are going to go for the wide peak, and all 5 of them are there, and that's going to be the flash that comes through. So now he's able to fall back. They're going to be checking everything, and this is now pouncing into the site once more. The ketchup spiciness is coming up big, but that's going to be double kill coming in from Roki, and now getting cleaned up by 1 more. But look at Choboy, what on earth? He gets 2 with the classic, almost making it 3.
With the headshot to boot for that 3rd, and either way, lads, that's a good haul for a full classic save with just the 1 sheriff on the team. 2 players removed, 1 slightly wounded, and that's some warning shots. Hey, watch out, we're not just firing blanks here.
Yeah, you can never count out the classic. I mean, especially with the burst fire. We've seen it from every single match in Valorant. I mean, you can do so much damage, and that was huge. I mean, Choboy, like, honestly, just pretty much ran through them and picked up a double, and that's a lot of good damage. And look at this now, they all got phantoms on their hands. So this is going to be a big round for them to pull things back. But CPP, I mean, again, they only have stingers, so not really much we're expecting. They could potentially try to catch these guys off guard with maybe a full push together.
If they coordinate well, yeah, it could work. Maybe an entry from this sheriff here from JC. Not going to be the way though. Rain getting in for the entry with the Phantom. Party Kid, no more partying for him this round. It's curfew and he's being reeled in.
And that dismiss that was used before, that was a really good timing. And even Roki now going to be using the drone. So this is going to be a good way to clear things off. Just trying to get any sort of information they can. That's going to be the breach flash that's going to be used. Both players now fully giving their position away. So the attackers, they do know there's at least 2 members close to this site. Definitely expect, you know, 1 typically playing tree, but look at this. We already see CPP, they're grouped up. They're going to be going back to what they know again, hitting this A right on the connector. And they're going to be falling already as Len's already able to take down Fan, and that is going to be the spike carrier, able to pick up another, and now just leaving only the Phoenix by himself, the Lone Ranger, but he makes the shot onto Bear, trying to look for another one, but Choboy going to put that nail to the coffin, and San Jose, they pick up their first round.
Backwards Bear being removed, but it's not going to be enough to tame the Bear. They're back up again. 2-1 it will be. Not turning the round into the dub though for San Jose. Interesting to see just the way they're clearing corners and the way that they're making their execution. They're very thorough, and their aim, regardless of just having the sheriff or the solo pistol, they've been making it work. So I have some faith here. We've got a game in our hands.
Yeah, we definitely do. And now it will be the full standard rifles across the board for CPP, getting all those Vandals. I don't even think they had a Phantom. I could be mistaken, but instead they will group up. They're going to be a little bit more split this time, so they're not just putting more pressure onto the long A, but instead they're going to be grouping up, getting that mid control. And that's exactly what I was talking about before. This is really, really important. You need to get that map presence. And so far, we're seeing it from them. We'll have to wait and see, as it is going to be Len just in the other side in mid cubby. He's hanging up by himself. He has the right angle, but he might need to fall back because now the drone comes in. He's fully blind, but whoa. But actually, they don't even know he's there, but he's able to escape at the right time.
Oh, using the best ability possible there. Jet, see you later. I'm out. Puts the Nikes on and getting the hell out of Judge. Still 5 on 5 in 55 seconds. That mid presence is still here, lads. They haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, not really a lot of action, considering that how much map control they have. And look at this Party Kid already creeping through on defender's side, just on the other side of this wall. And you know that the Reyna for San Jose is just jumping over, but caught. That's going to be Bear. He has his knife out, and he's not expecting them to be up close mid like that. So a little bit of off timing, but Ketchup Spicy able to find the back of another. And now it's just falling apart here for San Jose. They've lost 3 members already without making any sort of a fight. But Len, he gets taken down too, and he only taking down the rolling back.
Cool with their trousers around their ankles there. It's like, oh, just falling over and need to pick themselves up and get things sorted. Not too sure what happened there in the ranks of San Jose. For CPP though, that was a very good round. Made something from nothing. Party and Spicy Ketchup, living by name and by nature, really spicing things up. And I'm just noticing, is that building at a slant, Laz, or am I drunk?
Maybe a bit too much rogue energy. I don't know. Maybe you're starting to see a few things, but I mean, look at this now. It's only just down to 1. And I mean, the one thing that's really impressive from CPP is they don't take really any significant damage except for their Omen. and they just got so much control of the map really without any sort of a fight. It's just interesting that we saw from San Jose, they didn't really seem to challenge at all. So I don't know if they were playing a little bit careless or maybe just the miscomms, those little mistakes, but with that mistake, it's going to be putting CPP up 2 rounds right now, Kappa.
It's going to put them in the power position, isn't it? And you're going to see an Odin come in there from Nasi. Are we going to be seeing that juicy wallbang, I wonder? Over on A site? I'm guessing so, Laz. Yeah, there he is. There he is.
You gotta have it. I mean, you definitely gotta have it.
Chucking that recon dart out and hoping for the best. Going to get the scan off. Not rewarded in kind with any targets, though. So the Odin play denied for now. Len, though, this position, the aggro up, super risky, but risk equals reward. He's going to land it.
You know, and even Roki just kind of slowly creeping through that corner. He wasn't expecting that full aggression. And why would you? I mean, why would, you know, they haven't really tried anything from San Jose. They haven't played that aggressive. And that's kind of the, you know, unpredictable play that we like to see from most teams. And it so far is looking out very well so far for San Jose as they're able to take down the first member early, winning that exchange. But Ketchup going to be able to equalize this back as he's able to creep through and take down Bear. But look at that ultimate from Party Kid. It gets denied as Len. He capitalizes and puts the nail to the coffin. And now just leaving it to the Killjoy. Spike on the back. But Fant, you got a tall order ahead of you.
Won the first round, took pistol with the 2K. We need to see the full 4K if you have anything to do with this one. Vandal, a lot of vandalizing to do. You have to be an absolute hooligan to land this. I'm not too sure. Full armor, a little bit of U2 up for grabs, and the up just whisping past their ear, and that'll do for that round. Over and out, it's going to be 3-2.
Yeah, it's interesting because we saw San Jose, they lost their, you know, that last previous round before, like pretty quick and not really much fight. And then this time they actually just retaliate back. So they respond in good fashion, only 1 round behind from making this back to the tie game. But will be another buy round here for CPP. They got enough money on the board. Nacy's going to be just on the other side, like we said, with the Odin. So this is typically what we see with the spam and having the Sova with the recon dart. So they get to all that information. And look at this. This could be the full dinner that he wants.
He fell off the ledge, though. I don't know if he's going to get the full scan. Might just get a glimpse of a shoulder of his opponent, but that's not going to be ideal.
Yeah, it completely fell off, and now look at this. Even Len gonna have to fall back, and that's gonna be the lockdown that's gonna be activated here from CPP. Now that's gonna be an AC gonna be falling down. Ketchup just pushing up very aggressively, getting so much information, picking up all the frags they need to get that clearance. And now Bear just gonna be on the other side of this door. That's gonna be Hunter's Fury activated, and Len got the knives out once more to see if he can find anybody. He's got 2.
Oh!
And that's going to be a triple kill for him. Now making it just down to the breach here for San Jose. Needs to get this front 2, but Ketchup with the ace comes up big, and that's going to be a huge round from CPP.
Now, lads, I was literally just thinking, before Spicy got that first frag, Ketchup's awesome. You put it with your fries, you put it with your burger, your hot dog, you put it towards an ace as well in this round, putting CPP onto that 4th round in the bag for them. What a way to do it. What a way.
And that's the thing about Reyna, like when you can play, you know, getting those frags and being a little bit more, I don't want to say individual based, but if you can pick up those numbers, it definitely pans out well for that agent. And you just saw the ace comes out. That's going to be the first ace of the night. And that's a big start already for them. And I mean, it came right down to a 1v2, but the individual play from him, phenomenal.
Man, ace on grand final fight night, and he could potentially take 1650 home. Yes, please. And thank you for CEA Valorant. Welcome if you just joined us. An ace coming in for the first map of this potential best of 3. It is happening tonight. Back and forth game so far, and quite frankly, I don't know who's going to win this one. And I say that only when it's applicable. Back and forth, the rubber band mentality from both these teams, and they're not giving up easily.
I mean, that's the thing too. Like, this is CPP's pick, and I mean, they play on the attack, but look at this thing. He comes up alive with 3. He annihilates the incoming attackers, and now he's put his team in the right position on a 4-on-2. But Party Kid, he needs to find some heads, and he's able to find one already, starting things off. Cooling down Thig as he's going to get taken down. The spike's in his hands, but he keeps on pressing. But I don't think he knows this breach just on the other side, but he's able to peek this, and he takes down Choi, and all of a sudden, it's now in their favor, just leaving it to the Sova here for the defense.
White peek, and that was the right pick and just evaded the bullets there will be Party. He's got some party in his boots tonight. Tell you what, 2 versus 1. It's all a Nasty. This Odin has been chilling like a villain. The villain in this one, and gonna be removed as villains generally are in these stories. Another round, 5-2 for CPP.
That's the thing, you and Nacy. I think Nacy still had the Odin in his hands, so not the weapon you typically want in a clutch situation. Honestly, I mean, we definitely see some players do some damage with it, but it's a tall order, it's a tall task, and I mean, it doesn't work out. But what a phenomenal round! I mean, Tig, he came up so big, picking up that triple when he was in the back of the winery, but then in his teammates, they just fell apart, and Party Kid kind of got that control on Tree that just really kind of put the thorn in the side for these guys.
Party Kid really did start the party towards Guidance and coming through, and I'm talking to Thig there and give that salute. Inspired, I believe, by the previous round there from Spicy Ketchup. And that's what we love to see when one opponent's like, hey, this is what I can do. Can you do it better? Yes, you can. If you're JC, got eyes on a second. Could be starting something off here and getting revved up.
Already getting the gears going, and Len going to be posted up holding the tight angle, but that's going to be the drone to get that vision. Going to be spotted, but oh, he dashes right in front of Ketchup, and he's going to get taken down. Nacy falls as well. I mean, not really much to expect here from the defense. They were kind of caught off guard with that aggression from CPP again, but a 6-2 lead, and it's looking like it's going in the favor here for the attackers, but you can never count out. You just need to get things warmed up, and maybe we'll see something different from San Jose. They got the weapons again, so another big test for them. No ops on the board yet from either squad.
And Nasty still committed to that Odin, Laz. Question it as you may. I'm questioning it. I'm shaking my head slightly. It's a grand final. 1650s in the line, and apparently just in it for the last will be Nacy. Whatever it will be, though, I'm sure that the team comms is pretty colourful right now, Laz.
Look at this. I mean, they're even getting a little bit out of their positioning, but even Thig, look at this. He picks up another frag. He seems to be this difference maker for San Jose, picking up those crucial first kills on the defensive side. That's not typically what we see, but now it will be the aggression from Ketchup again. Look at it. Now he's even able to start things off, almost able to get the second, and that's Bear to shut him down, making it the 4-on-3.
4-3 it will be, and this is advantage for San Jose. They need this. They really need to sustain to this half. Get a say in where the rounds are going to go today. We really haven't had too much come from them over the past couple of rounds, and that being said, though, it's because of players like Party popping off like that. Puts it back to the 3 versus 3. No advantage at all here. Again, put back to the hands of San Jose. So this is going all over the place, and I really don't know what to say. This is awkward. They're not able to get back into sight and come straight down to this high progression for CPP. Look, they're so good. They're not even holding sight, lads.
I mean, that lockdown just pushed them all the way back, and even Thig now, this is the triple, but he's going to get shut down, and Fan able to find the head of him, leaving it just to the one-on-one, the breach versus the Killjoy. That's going to be the aftershock to push him back, so he sticks on this defuse, but gets off of it, but time is ticking, and it doesn't matter as Fant going to be sending him off into outer space, and that's going to be another round by the skin of their teeth.
Man, pull me into the black hole as well, for what it's worth. This is a head spinner of a game, and so many frags are being exchanged. It is so hard to keep a pulse on the round of who the heck is doing those exchanges. 7-2 it will be. What an attacking side for CPP. Put this one in the books.
Yeah, very, very good attempt from San Jose. I mean, it came right down to the wire. We've seen a few of these rounds now come to those 1v1 situations, the 2vx situations. So that's what I was talking about. Maybe these guys are starting to get a little bit more warmed up. It's not going their way, but they're definitely making it close here for CPP.
They are giving a massive run for their money, and don't forget, this is not a best of one. So even if this was to be a wash and not the map for San Jose, no worries. We do have a second one coming our way, and talking about picks, this is going to be a pick of... Okay, that's going to be for San Jose's pick. So this isn't ideal for them, but I don't think they're done yet. Anything can happen.
And the one thing to note too is I'm really impressed right now with Ketchup and just getting those first entries. And what on earth is that? It was a mid bunny hop, and he lands that shot onto Bear, and that's going to be a spam coming in for Roki. Oh my goodness, these boys are on the gear. They're on just picking up every single frag possible.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. They've got a special kind of ketchup they're sharing with the team, but it's extra spicy. The ghost pepper, the sign the custom wafer kind of spicy. He's finishing with a 3K as well. So this is crazy. He's scorching.
I mean, I was just talking about Ketchup, and I mean, Ketchup Spicy is just, putting the Reyna to absolute perfect work. When you play a duelist like that, and especially an agent like Reyna, you need to be that first person that's kind of being the first point of contact, getting those entries, pushing in first, and that's exactly what we're seeing. 15 and 6. Just doing a great job just opening up the entries on all areas of the map, not even just one specific thing. And that's what's kind of allowing CPP to just get full control and full free real estate.
You talk of team comms and you wonder, Laz, is Ketchup just saying, hey, I'm peeking here, trade me. And he doesn't ever get traded because he's getting the entries. And so his party really started to step things up here. And another from Ketchup. So they're not even getting to say San Jose. They're just getting removed instantly. And that's so frustrating.
It really is, and look at that. That's another frag already picked up, and Bear puts that stinger, gets the spike down, but able to fall back. But the back of him is just showing a little bit. Ketchup trying to get a little bit extra spicy, and that's going to be the push coming through from Thig when he's going to fall down, just leaving it to the Reyna only here on the defense. A 1-on-4 situation. And at this point, if Bear can pick up a rifle, that could be big. A Party Kid can be closing that party over in Market. 9-2. We're seeing CPP starting to run away with this in that first half, and we are going in to the last one. We'll need to see San Jose do something here.
They've got to have a little bit more in the tank, and we're talking production pre-game, and as a caster before you go into a game, as well as players, you've got to make sure you've got gas in the tank, so get yourself revved up, bite in your hand, or listen to that song that really gets you pumped up. I know a guy used to do that, talking to bite in his hand. Don't recommend it, but he used to bite his hand to get himself pumped up before he'd play football games or soccer games. Is that weird, lads?
Well, it's something, Cuppa, but I mean, when we talk about something, let's talk about this aggression. Look at Len and also Thig. Look at these guys. Foot on the gas, and that's going to be premium gas. They're pushing down long. Look at this. These guys are bringing the fight to them. They're not discouraged at all. And that will be finally some retaliation back here from the attacker side, making it to a 3-3. But look at this. They're going to be able to run up to short into tree. Oh, this is an interesting setup. So instead of going through the door, they're actually going all the way around. Oh my goodness, Thig with another double.
So, as it will be, it's going to turn around to be a nice round for them in the sense of plays and in the result. What a bizarre round.
I really like that play. I mean, the fact that they didn't just all go through the door together. Instead, they actually go in the back of the garden, push all the way through, and they actually took the fight to San Jose. It doesn't go their way, but definitely a very big triumphant round for them. But we see a little bit of retaliation come back from San Jose, getting some kind of redemption. I mean, making it 3-9. They got a long row, but if they can pull the pistol, anything's possible, Cuppa. We know that.
Anything's definitely possible. Valorant, out of any FPS that ever played, you are never out of the game. You've got to have that mindset. We talk about that sort of rinse and repeat of a successful round. Don't change it if that's what's working. And likewise, if it's not working, figure it out. Try something different. So many abilities, combinations with different agents. CEA Valorant Grand Final here, 1650 on the line. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be for San Jose or is it going to be CPP?
Now it's going to be switched off, so San Jose, they are going to actually group up, having all 4 members that are going to be pushing this A site, so they get the spike down. Not much contention here, but it will be the Reyna on their side that's going to be lurking inside a middle. So being a little bit of that nuisance, just trying to find any information for the rotators on that defensive side. And now we have ourselves a 5-on-5 situation. It seems to be kind of a common trend right now, Cuppa.
It definitely does. San Jose making it the 5 versus 4. This is what you must say, a must-win round for them. They need to have this to build that confidence. And 3 versus 2, the USP, I was about to say, no, USP is going to be a ghost. It's making everyone into a ghost here. And San Jose, somehow, some way, slightly messy. Some blood was shed. 2 players survive, and they're going to get that pistol round.
Yeah, the pistol round definitely, in my opinion, I always think it's a good way for a mental reset. It's a good way to picking up a round, of course. You know, we always talk about our pistol rounds that crucial. I definitely think they are to get that momentum going. But I mean, this is going to be a big round here for San Jose. They win this pistol, they put some money in the board, but this is going to be a little bit scary because CPP, they only have pistols, so they can go for gambles. They can do something different, a little unorthodox, if you will. So it allows them to put that high risk, high reward play. We'll have to wait and see if San Jose can respond back in the correct way.
Talking of that as well, lads, and wicked point, the high progression we saw from CPP in that first half, if they're able to work that into their ecos here, they can make anything happen. It's not going to be for this one, though. The risk reward, no reward denied in this case. Are they going to be able to get a couple of exits, though? And I have a question. San Jose, they got to frag out, build up that bank, and let's see that comeback. It's got to happen.
One thing I really like from San Jose is they actually took it all together. They didn't completely split up from each other. And the one thing from CPP is they went for the gamble, and I was talking about that. High risk, high reward. I mean, they stacked B-site. It didn't work out, but you know what? That's kind of the gamble that you have to do on those save rounds. And it kind of backfires, but you know what now? They can just wait inside the middle and see if they can pick up a stinger or two.
Sting, the opponent, but going to have an EpiPen on the side for Jay-Z. Running through gardens. Reckless. Not a care in the world.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Not what you want. Losing all 4 remaining members from CPP to the spike explosion. You don't really see that very often, but I mean, oh boy.
That's an ouch. That's a yikes to say. Either way though, we talk about putting stuff behind you. That's definitely something they'll be putting behind them. 10-4, San Jose. They've got a couple of guns in the mix, but still keeping that economy. And I believe sort of like a half buy, if you will, the light buy they've got.
Yeah, it's kind of the bonus round from San Jose because we can see they still got those stingers. They still got kind of the light, you know, SMGs that they're using. So this is that opportunity for them to take a site together, maybe try to do some kind of coordinated execution all together, putting a pressure on the site. We'll wait and see. But look, they're already actually grouped up towards A. And look at this, the defense, they've completely given it up. They thought it was going to be a B hit, and that complete fake from Len was huge. And now they get the site for free. I mean, they lose one of their members, but it's not going to matter because now they get the spike down. They're able to get themselves in those post-plant situations. But we'll have to see as it goes because there is only 3 members remaining here for that attacking side.
So risky here, the plays from Nasi. Able to pick one up though. One and down. I don't know if that's going to be enough in this situation. It's a 4 versus 2.
4 versus 2, and that's going to be JC pushing through. So now just leaving it to the breach, and that's going to be Choboy picking up a double. And now he will fall. The spike going to get diffused. Should have enough time. And CPP, they respond back. It's not pretty, but they make it work.
Few bumps and bruises falling down the stairs, but brush the shoulders off and pick yourself up again. No problem at all. 10-5 to score. San Jose, they might just have a say in this one.
So now this will be the gun round. We should see from San Jose. We'll have enough money on the board for them to have the classic rifles, whether they choose the Phantom or the Vandal. Not enough, of course, for any operators yet. As we all know, the operator is quite expensive. Too big of an investment right now, but this will be the big round from both squads to see if San Jose can pull things through, getting closer to that double-digit mark.
I think the only thing separating the two sides economy-wise and buy-wise, lads, is Spicy. He's got a stinger. That's all he's got.
And look at this, even Fan just playing from heaven, or Hell Story, able to pick up a double, and that's going to be Choboy finally responds back, taking him down. And that's a good hold from CPP. And even Ketchup just going to be posted up and going to be putting the stinger to work, using the dismiss to reposition himself, which now puts the guessing game here for the 2 remaining members of San Jose, just making it only just down to Choboy. Spike in hand, 50 HP, but he's got 3 members on that defensive side to go against.
He does have the spike, So you talk a big brain plays, the next level IQ. You saw the rotate formally there from CPP when they're on the attack. Not too sure if he's going to take a page out of their strat, but it looks like he's gonna. The late rotation. Still, could be able to get the spike down, maybe close that door and block her from market. You might have a fighting chance, just maybe.
Yeah, it's going to come all down to how he takes these first exchanges. So he's going to be able to get the spike down. Nobody close by, but if he can position himself to be ready, he has his ult as well. So he could try to time this at the right moment that he can try to go for a Y peak, because right now he has to take the first exchange. He needs to find the stranglers of CPP. But look at this. We can tell they're holding hands. They're going together as a party. They're the trio. They're not going to be splitting up at all. But now that noise is coming through and you can hear him. He's just sitting inside a CT, but now waiting it out. They haven't even cleared this, and now they're swarming this site. The ultimate going to be activated. Actually does take the diffuser off, but he falls down. He's a little too late, and that should be the spike diffuse with still time to spare.
Valiant effort though. We saw it, didn't he? Rolling Thunder, the potential there. That was the only play really in the 3 versus 1. Maybe sort of the back boathouse play could have been another option, but great effort. Going to be 11-5 for that one, and CPP, they're going to proceed beyond that 10 and make their way to 11.
Getting closer and closer to the match point, to the game point. I mean, a long road for San Jose. I'll have to see what they can get going here. I mean, we've seen them play a little bit slow. They seem to get these sites, you know, it's really just coming down to their post-plant situations that are just not really panning out well. That seems to be kind of their kryptonite right now.
It really does, doesn't it? The trades have been insane when it comes to CPP, but San Jose, they're going to get the entry. Think on this one. Could be someone to change the flow of things here, and out comes the Blade Storm as well from Len. Can they put this to work? We saw a collab almost with the Blade Storm previously. Love to see it, and let's get Jet into action.
Yeah, if it's a time to strike, it's going to be now. We do have the only ultimate for San Jose, so that will be the Blade Storm. Needing to connect those knives can definitely make the right damage. You can see the ultimate of the Reyna, spots him, but he actually takes out the Vandal of this fight, so that ultimate not going to be in any use at all. So Fant able to push on through with his teammates. Ketchup going to be on top of him and drops down, and death from above as he's able to take down Thig using the dismiss, goes for the fake diffuse, and that's going to be flashes galore, and one player, not even any player, is being detained, and that's going to be a cleanup, and all of a sudden Bear from the back, he's looking for more, but he's going to get taken down through the center of the site with plenty of time for CPP to get that diffuse.
CPP GG no re, as it will appear for Ascent. 12-5, we're on to match point. A 3K from Ketchup there. Man, I don't want to taste that ketchup, it's too hot, it's too spicy.
Yeah, this is like triple C spicy. Like, this is like some spicy ketchup. 23-9. Let's talk about that for a second. You're Reyna. You have the top score on your team, top score in the server by a long shot. Definitely opening up those opportunities, getting those first duels. And that's what I was talking about. When you play an agent like Reyna, you need to show up big on the numbers. And that's exactly what we're seeing here from Ketchup Spicy.
Rogue Energy 101. Definitely had his Rogue Energy and Wheaties for breakfast. The Wheaties, I know that's something we talk about, that breakfast, lads.
I mean, chugging the Rogue Energy and, you know, just probably flashy with all the new apparel. I mean, I don't know what his secret is, but it's looking good, and I'm definitely going to have to take some notes.
Taking notes, though, it's going to be San Jose. They're not done just yet. Trying to burn out their enemies a little bit if they can. JC, we're taking this right now. It's 2 versus 2. Macy, you've got to land this one. Grabs the Phoenix, coming off the run it back, and somehow, again, these one-on-ones, and this does set the tone of how things have been. It's been 2 versus 1, it's been 3 versus 1s. Winnable situations. San Jose going to turn that one into a dub. It's 12-6.
I mean, the one thing to note too is, I mean, I believe that was the Phoenix Molly that actually, you know, took out his teammate, and I think it was the HP of Fant that was really low, but I think he just touched on that lava, and that was a bit too hot for him because he fell down. So a bit of a TK on that side. You don't see it very often, but it comes up on that last round. But now making it 6-12, CPP on the glimpse of glory on map number 1. We'll have to see San Jose. Can they be the comeback kids?
Good question, Laz. And if they could, it's not even on their map, is it? This is the bonus map, if anything. When you're in that best of 3 scenario, if you have been, and if you haven't, give it a go. There's lots of platforms to do it for Valorant across the realms. One of being CEA, GLG, another one to mention. Get that vibe of, hey, you lose your opponent's map, doesn't matter. You've got another map to come. Jet pressing things super aggressive here. That's going to be spicy. I know it.
Oh no, Party Kid. You talk about being nervous and the knees are weak and the arms are heavy. I mean, that is literally the definition of it. Misses every single shot, not able to find the frag, the missed opportunity, putting so much more pressure for Roki. He's not even able to make this work. And look at the San Jose pushes through, and they're just completely putting that foot on the gas, leaving it just down to Fan by himself. He's got the Phantom, but really, he's got not much else to work with. All his abilities are burned, so he might just need to save this.
His joy is killed. His joy is dead. That's not even a word. Nice English, fella. Nice English, cuppa. His joy is dead. We'll leave it at that. It's a 3 versus 1. He doesn't look like he's interested. He's reserved this round for San Jose to get another one and wiggle their way towards those double figures. They're well on the road too, considering how things were turning out. I think it was 9-3 for the half, Laz. So 12-7, not a bad turnaround.
Yeah, they're fighting tooth and nail to make their comeback slowly and surely, but we'll have to wait and see. The money situation for CPP, they have it, so they can put that money on the board. They're going to try to see and go for this again. They got some of the Phantoms, they got the Vandals, a couple Stingers, and I mean, we've seen Ketchup do some miraculous things so far in this map with the Stinger. But I mean, the one thing we're noticing for the key of success for San Jose is that they're pushing up together. They're taking these executes very well, and they seem to now have figured out that they just need to play more of that buddy system rather than kind of playing split apart.
Wicked analysis, man. You're talking the buddy system. Yeah, that sort of basic SES strategy. You don't have to be a member of the SES or the army to know that. Buddy systems stick close for that trade, and you hear someone say, trade me, trade me. It could be me, it could be Laz in one of your pugs saying that. It could be another one of your teammates, but you've got to be there close for the trade, otherwise you're not going to get those frags.
I mean, now even Len going to be pushing through. That's going to be into tree control, but Roki able to reply back, getting that immediate trade. A Party Kid puts the Stinger to work, and that'll be the Paranoia to connect, but won't matter as Thig takes him down, making it the 3-on-2 in slight favor now for both teams as both members fall. So now things have completely switched. It's going to be down to the Ketchup, the one player that's come alive so much in this map. Can he do it again? He finds the shoulder of the Omen. He's not able to get the frag, and that's going to be the ultimate burn from the Omen. So actually repositioning so both players can be together. So this makes things even more difficult for Ketchup, but he goes for the wide swing, takes down Thig, making things a little bit more interesting. He needs to now stick this, but that's going to be the Hunter's Fury activated. Oh no! Can this be enough to burn the clock? He's holding it down, still waiting.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness, but Ketchup, look at this wide swing, he runs out of ammo. Oh no, I think they've done it. San Jose, they stay alive for another round. The discipline of Nacy comes up very well.
So we spoke of Nacy earlier on with the Odin plays, but Odin plays for days, to clutch in for days as well. The Hunter's Fury and the precision, Laz, you spoke of it there with sort of the last burst of the ult. That could have gone so wrong so easily, and really putting that ult to you. Seeing the action replay as well. Look at this, just the hold off. No, I've got a feeling you're not sticking it just yet, and it's worked out really, really well.
And that being, you know, being disciplined with using your ultimates at the right time. And when you're a Sova, you definitely want to have that recon bolt ready to go, have that Hunter's Fury in the right spot. And you could even see he was waiting to pull the trigger. Didn't even fully, you know, use the last, you know, shot of that Hunter's Fury, which allowed Ketchup not even to go for that at all for the defuse. So a big, big play from San Jose. Only 4 rounds away from tying things up. Still quite a few to go, but the pressure is now building here for CPP.
It really, really is. And I don't know if they've got a Corsair headset or what to hear those footsteps and just get their position for the one-tap, making it happen. 5 versus 5 still, and Sight's going to be a freebie here for San Jose.
And it seems to be kind of the common trend that we're noticing from both teams when they play on their defense, that they give up that site for free. And that's going to be a one-tap from JC with a Guardian. Nonetheless, that's a nice way to start things off, but the A site going to be in control for San Jose. Grouped up a double in the long A once more, having the Reyna just post up in the site. So JC gonna have to be that one to find the head of bear. That will be the breach flashes, but it's not going to matter. So now Killjoy only down to a certain amount of HP, but Thig coming up big with a double. And that's another round from San Jose.
So for myself, tuning in for both these teams and enjoying the narrative before the story of how they've got here, I can see it. I can see it and I believe the stats that I've seen on paper. These teams have the clutch ability, they all have clutch factor players, and it's coming into play for the first map of this potential best of 3 here for CEA Valorant. Hoping a good time. Myself, Cuppa Frag here, and obviously I am joining the awesome, lovely Laz here. Hopefully having a good time, and let's get things underway. Another round, 12-9. It's all on San Jose, Laz. Match point. Can we see a closer here from CPP?
I mean, I'm kind of curious about this play. So you can see the Ketchup getting really aggressive in B main, but he peeked that on his own. He didn't really have any coordination with his teammates. So it makes me wonder, is the pressure building up so much and the frustration that a little bit of a questionable play? That's what I'm curious about right now. But a 3-2, San Jose with a slight favor. They're Sova, going to be very low. Very clinical, and now JC going to be finding the drone, takes it down, looking for another, but just misses the shoulder. His opponents, and now they're going to be both pushing in on the opposite side here.
So one player being lit there in the form of San Jose, and a spray down. Could see that through a headshot from Puddikin, taking out the opponent and taking out the lit player as well. So it's all on Thig here. Gets the one headshot, and oh no, the headshot gonna be going through the paranoia. Is there gonna be enough time though, Laz?
Yeah, there should be enough time. That is going to come through. With still 2 seconds to spare. CPP going to be taking map number 1, 13-9.
Great turnaround there from San Jose. You're 9-3 down at the half and making a match out of map number 1. So Ascent is out of here, and let's get to the scoreboard. Of course, Laz. It's the one and only, the Ketchup Spicy. What a game he had.
Yeah, Ketchup Spicy just came out lights out, 24-14 with 6 assists, with the econ rating of 128. Still a lot of first bloods, and just a big play with a 324 combat score.
Goodness me.
Definitely just making a statement on map number 1.
Yeah, just blowing things out the water, being their map pick and saying, we chose this for a reason, it's Ketchup's map, but what is going to happen when the roles are reversed and we go for San Jose's pick? San Jose coming up for your next matchup for map number 2. We've gone from Ascent, leave it alone now. We're going to be moving towards Haven, a map that is not everyone's cup of tea, is it? I don't like 3 maps. Some people, I love 3 sites on a map. What's your take on it, Laz? 3 maps or the 2? We've talked about this many a time. What's your opinion now as Valorant starts to progress?
I think, in my opinion, I think Haven's probably one of my favorite maps, because I think even having the 3 sites, I mean, you think, your classics with your A and your B, things like that, why would you add another site? But I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, B site on Haven, it's more of that retake site. It's kind of where the retakes really play a big fundamental factor when we see both teams. So I personally love the map. I think it has a lot of creativity, a lot of different things that we see. There's a lot of variety on Sage abilities, on Jet abilities. There's so many things that open up on that map. So I'm really curious to see what agents are going to be selected, especially considering San Jose picked this one.
To be quite frank, I used to be negative in the sense of, 3 sites is a bit too much, a bit of an overload. I've got a small brain as it is. It goes above my IQ. But as I've started to play things a bit more, rotations, it makes you better at your rotations if you play Haven. A bit frustrating at first, like, oh, it wasn't B, it was C, and you have to do that full rotation all the way across. But with doing that, you'll work on your movement, you'll work on your callouts. All of those things do make you a better player, and truthfully, I think that's why Haven, it's not always one you're going to see at high level play, because the frustration of the 3 sites can be a bit much in those super high tense situations. But talking of that, 1650 is in the line. So for being your map choice for a grand final, I'm sure we've got some agent combo strat plays to be coming from San Jose, and I'm revved up to see him, man. I wonder what it's going to be.
Definitely excited, but we'll make sure to get that excitement after the break. We are just going to take a short little bit of time for the players to chug their rogue energy, have their Wheaties, whatever they need to get ready for map number 2. Don't go away. We will be back shortly.
Are you tired of playing online tournaments for no glory and fake online trophies? How about you start playing for a little bit of glory with GLG? Not only do we host real prize pool tournaments, we professionally broadcast them live on Twitch.
As Beefcake really can't find anything. Hydro finds two through the flash. Can he find the third? The offshot's gonna miss. He finds the three. He finds the fourth. Hydro is on fire. This man is putting his team in the backpack to try to win this tournament.
We've got casters, highlight videos,
Oh! Sweet Pea with the blind shot.
player features, the whole shebang. Are you ready for your little bit of glory?
And welcome back. We are here for the CEA Valorant Grand Finals with your host Laz and of course Cupperfrag. Map number 2, where we saw it go quite, actually, I don't want to say the distance, but it definitely went its way to 13-9. So a bit of a comeback story from San Jose. But how you feeling, man? We had a little bit of time to talk about it, but how you digesting that map?
It was a really good start to a best of 3, and seeing as it wasn't San Jose's pick, they didn't have the best start that first half, 9-3. It's a bit of kick in the gonads if you're kicking the stomach. You're like, oh, that's not a good start. That's not how I wanted the grand final for 1650 to go. But they turned things around, 13-9 for that game. It could have been a heck of a lot worse, and I think that was a competitive game for the first one.
I definitely think so. And I mean, you know, again, before we even get into the analysis and talk things over, definitely want to, of course, give a big shout out to our production and, again, our CEA sponsors. So talking about GLG, phenomenal and professional tournaments. I mean, if you guys don't know GLG, make sure to go check them out. And, of course, Corsair. I mean, that's part of our prize pool. They got some great gear. I know what I'm going to be buying at the end of this today, a nice new keyboard. So make sure to check out Corsair as well.
Talking of Corsair, obviously all the prizes, we couldn't be doing it without them, and treating the players like gold, as well as the EA are treating us like gold as well. Not to mention Rogue Energy and new esports apparel as well. So get yourself decked up with some new apparel. Rogue Energy, Adrian gets you ready for the game day, baby. And we saw just gone. It was it this ketchup spicy? I know it's one word, isn't in the order I thought it was, but either way, the best ketchup I've seen on the shelves, man. That was, I think, the MVP for map number 1. Who's going to take map number 2?
Yeah, definitely hats off for the MVP award for Ketchup Spicy. I mean, without a doubt, easy pick. I mean, CPP, they came up big. They took that map and dominant performance and used the Reyna to the fullest abilities. But we are going to be going on San Jose's pick, which will be Haven. So they also get to, or sorry, this is CPP's pick. So, which allows San Jose to be on that defensive side, which will be interesting because in my theory, when we talk about all tiers of Valorant, I mean, typically the defensive side is kind of where you get that bread and butter, where you get all the money, where you pick up the most rounds. I mean, not necessarily, of course, just depends, but that seems to be a common trend. So I'm going to see how well San Jose can do on their defense.
And not to be fault for you, and that's on me. I'm the one that's tell you it was a scent for CPP's pick, not at all. So for San Jose, they lost their pick. That is a stinker. That really is a stinker. So for that comeback potential we saw there, that was the hint of, hey, this is our map. We want to stay in this. So if they're going to map number 2 and they're not going to be in that pole position, this could be perhaps a bit of a tragedy for San Jose, but time will tell.
And it really will, because I mean, when we talk about your own map pick and it doesn't go the way you want it to go, that's frustrating. And now you have to have that mental reset. You got to shut that whole map 1 off. You're starting off on map 1 again for these guys. Like, these guys need to pick this map as it's the first match of the day, see if they can pick it up for their favor so that they can go the distance and bind. But it's tough. And that's kind of the difference we see when we get into the grand finals and the later part of the tournaments and things like that. We'll have to see if these guys can do it.
On to Haven we go, and hopefully we're not going to see San Jose caught in a bind. Talking of going the whole 9 yards and going to that last round from the round difference, if it will go there. But for CPP, they want to close it out right here, right now. They want the blowout, and they want to be rolling all that cash for their Saturday morning. Asian picks right away from CPP. A little bit of hesitation there for San Jose, lads.
Yeah, it already looks like we're seeing the attackers take a little bit more time on their end for picking their agents, and a little bit of hesitation, but that's kind of typical what we see because, you know, your team's chatting away, figuring out what do we want to do? Do we want to do the same thing as map number 1? Do we want to change things up? And definitely on a map like Haven, a little bit more variety that we can see. But we see that the Killjoy is going to be locked in for the attackers, but even a Cypher locked in, so different Sentinels from both squads.
And we do see the Killjoy being hovered over there again, yet again from Fant. So I wonder, is it going to be locked? And so it will be. So it looks like on the surface. Opens across the board, or Skippy? Sorry, let's go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Ketchup going back to the Reyna, so still the, I don't want to call it a one-trick pony, but I mean, why change something that's not broken, right? Like Ketchup, you know, this Ketchup Spicy was a spicy guy from the first map, so can he transition the Reyna into Haven with that same heat?
I'd say so, and that's a really good thing about Ascent, and it's not commonly because there's lots of long angles, people struggle with that, as you've literally got like a half pixel sometimes you're seeing an opponent's head. Similar to Haven, and even more so actually with those elongated angles, and with Reyna, you've got Lear chucked out in that open space, through a door, through a wall, and BD, no problem. I think Reyna's going to be a crucial one, a crucial champion, or agent I should say, for this game.
And not really, you know, like not really much different than we saw before. I think Bear now being the Raze is a little bit different than we saw in map number 1. So having that duelist a little bit more heavy on their side, no Brimstone except for just on the one side here for and I think on a map like Haven definitely useful because you want those smokes. So they give up the Omen, but instead they keep the Brimstone. Not a bad call at all. But look at this play. And that's already San Jose pushing very aggressive, and Nasti does find the first exchange against JC, and that's going to be able to allow them to fall back and already putting CPP backs against the boards.
Your pick, this is our pick. There's been a mistake since San Jose. We messed up our first map and we want to take the pistol. 5 versus 4 early on, the mental game. You want to talk about, we haven't even touched base on that for a grand final. You're going to be, as you mentioned, slightly shaky in certain clutches, and pistol rounds, I think that's going to be one of those rounds.
Even Lens just completely posted up, the only member from San Jose holding it. Oh, and gets the free frag, able to get 2. Almost making it a triple, but he will fall. But that is going to be a good way to shut down that aggression here from CPP. But they will push through. That will be the fault line to connect, but the spike should get planted, which allows them to get that money bonus. But Fant able to escape, but does a little bit of damage now. A little bit of frags being exchanged back again. Here we go, and the burst fire comes up alive, but that's going to be Nasi to come up big with a triple, taking down both remaining players. And that's going to be the pistol for San Jose.
San Jose, what do you say? You say victory in the form of a 3K there from Nasi. You didn't have the hottest game for map number 1. Chose Sova as the agent. Omen, a better haul. Nasi, just take Omen, please. You're born Omen.
The Omen comes up big. I mean, I'm really impressed with Nasi. I mean, that you know, picking up the triple and even the double kill from Len. I mean, that was a great way to start it off as well. Just kind of being that anchor, really pushed up on A, and it kind of a risky play, but it pans out well. But something different we see from San Jose that we didn't see before. So now allows them to keep on trucking. And we'll have to see if they can make the second round for their desire.
Grabbing map or round number 1 on a map that's not your pick, you've got to feel good. You've got to feel that flow state coming to you. This Ketchup Spicy though, another mention for the issue. Just right to site, so party, and this could be important to get the spy down immediately.
Yeah, and look at even the camera placement from Choboy does actually make the connection. So kind of hiding behind that tree or behind the leaf of the tree. So very sneaky spot that even the attackers did not spot. But Ketchup going to be caught with the paranoia, but he's going to be spamming away. And already making a bit of a firefight, now making it the 2-2, and Bear pushes in, but that's going to be Fant that's able to get the double with the Stinger, and that Stinger is really going to leave a mark, allowing a big round on that second.
Family got it. You're really hurting. You've hurt your knee. You fell over. That's how I think it feels for San Jose there. That sucks. Don't like to see that for your second round of a bye.
You know, and this is kind of what we talked about before on map number 1. I mean, winning pistol, yeah, I definitely think it can shift that momentum, but it really does come down to that second round. I kind of almost feel like the second round is the new pistol, if you want to call it that, because it's easy to win the pistol and then just fall back on that round, and that's exactly what we see. CPP pick it up, making it back to the 1-1, and now putting San Jose in a bit of a questionable spot with their money situation.
I like that. The round 2 is the new pistol, and the new pistol, the pistol 2.0. We're on round number 3 at this current time, though. JC able to pick up the entry, as it will be, and San Jose, they're meeting the back foot.
So CPP will be able to get this site with not much contention at all. So leaving it only with 4 members of San Jose on the retake situation. Gonna have to push through the smokes of the brimstone. Ketchup Spicy just kind of hanging out. He's gone, waiting for that lurk, waiting for the rotate of the barrack to come through. And I mean, really at this point, San Jose, we're just looking to clean up whatever they can to pick up any weapons.
Korean all three, thank you, fan. Rocky, taking it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. 5 players remain as well, so if that's to give you an inkling of how this game is going so far, I think that should. Teamwork making the dream work and heading our way into another round here. CPP, I'd love to see the economy to have a peek at where we're at in the terms of San Jose as well.
Here.
I'm not sure their buy is going to be too exciting for them, or too prominent for an entry. I saw a judge, but that's all I've seen so far in a stinger.
Len actually will be the one that does have the operator in hand, so they're having the jet and an operator. What better combination? But posted up by himself, he finds the shoulder of the Sova, but he's not able to make that connection. So a missed opportunity, and still going to hold the ground, hold it as long as possible, with Fig just being on the other side of Sewer, not really being able to be much of a support for his teammate, but he's able to dash out and they can reposition themselves in this site.
Backing off will be Fig, and still 5 on 5. Bit of a slower pace so far this round. I'm saying that party, starting the party starter, fire starter. He's over and out though. Grab taking one, that'd be Bear. That's going to bamboozle me. Operator shot from Len. Going to be whiffed again as well. So Len has difficulty landing those shots so far.
Oh, that's a big frag from Showboy, and that's actually making it a triple. Now making it just the 2-on-1 situation. Bear going to be creeping through defender's side spawn. Now making it the 1-on-1. Roki responds back, and that's the captain of CPP. Now looking for more of the shock dart. Not really making any damage, but Bear, he knows he's close. He's completely holding the ground, but look at this. Gonna be going for the peak, but Bear reads them like a book and picks up the op, allowing them to keep it going.
San Jose in for the next round of the day. It's 2-2. Neck and neck it was for the later portion of that first map, and we're seeing it happen a little bit earlier on in map number 2 of the potential best of 3. San Jose, we talk of getting revved up and getting the engine warm. I think they're warm now, lads, and they're ready to fight.
And this is kind of the thing when you get over a map. I mean, it kind of gets the jitters out, the nervousness. You warm up, you turn into a new team, and that's kind of what we're seeing so far from San Jose, making it a 2-2. I mean, granted, this is CPP's pick. But like I said, that defensive side on a map like Haven, I give that slight edge when you're playing defense. And so far, San Jose, they look like they're delivering it.
They most certainly are. We have to continue though, and that's the other notion, isn't it? It's not just about, oh, we got one round, boys, well, hey, we're done. No, it's a grand final. You've got to go the whole way. And in fact, they need to win this with as many rounds as possible for San Jose if they want any chance of making it to map number 3.
Big test of time, and even now, CPP, they're creeping up. Ketchup Spicy going to be pushing in. That's going to be the Rain of Flash comes through. That's going to be Nasi able to throw down the Paranoia, and that's going to be Chowboy able to take him down. They're picking up the frags one by one. Now just leaving it only to 2 members remaining. With Fant able to pick up another, with JC able to reply back, but now only just leaving it to him. But that's going to be it, making it San Jose taking the slight lead, 3-2.
Choi boy, getting the 3K also. We talked of overall performance for a team, but individual performance, we need to see some more frags across the board for San Jose. We can't just have the one person carry. They're too much in the hole for that. They're deep in the trenches. It's World War I, and they need to get it done. In fact, it's going to be map number 2 rather than the first for them, and we mentioned it previously. If you didn't catch it for the CEA Valorant final for Valorant, San Jose, they lost their map pick. and this is going to be CPP's
my
map
way.
pick in the form of Haven. So CPP, they should have those strats up their sleeve and see if they can put it to work here.
Be the Blade Storm that will be activated. 3 ults going to be on the side for CPP, but 4 ults available for San Jose. Party Kid getting close, ready to potentially take this B link or C link. And that's going to be the Hunter's Fury already going to come through as well, and that's going to be the spike to get planted. But Roki actually takes down his own teammate. He makes the wrong connection. And that's not what you want, especially in the situation when you're down in numbers and it's completely falling like a deck of cards, leaving it only just down to him. And this should be the end of it all. And that's San Jose to pick up a flawless round.
You really don't want to be hitting those, lads. You don't want to be hitting those ults.
Oh, it's not what you want. I mean, and the thing with the Hunter's Fury, and honestly, like, shout out to all the Sova players that are in the chat, and of course all the competitors. It's a hard ability to use, the Hunter's Fury, because you're trying to line things up. You got to be pretty crisp and precise, and I mean, unfortunately, the crisp and precise was on the wrong team.
Crisply clicking your teammate's head. Nil point. Not the recipe that people were looking for the cake. For the fair, the winning recipe. However, the ult will be though. Lane grabbing 1, lane grabbing 2. Counter Jet, counterpart removed from action, and Ski immediately. San Jose, they're 5 versus 3.
I mean, we are just seeing San Jose run around. This is another flawless round for them. So picking up 2 in a row, not losing anybody on their squad, not losing any damage at all. So that helps them build up their economy, build up the credits you need. You can purchase whatever you need to do. And CPP now, they do have enough to go for the Vandal purchases. See what they have in store.
This is a nice spot.
But I wonder if Ketchup's going to be trying to put things into his own hands, see if he wants to open up the rounds he was doing before on map number 1.
Yeah, he really was pressing the issue. You talked about aggro plays. He was there left, right, and centre. If it was a B play, A play, and you're on Haven for goodness sake, Ketchup. Get in there. Peak mid, peak long A on Gardens, or long A on Gardens, and even have a look at C as well. He hasn't been as confident as we saw him that forward map. But have a look. He's peeking in Garage here. Look at him go.
Already getting a lot of real estate, creeping up through and not any sort of fight. So he has to get this brag, but that's going to be Choboy, and that's going to be a great way for the defense to start things off. And already going to be able to use the ultimate of the Cypher, which allows that slight location of all your enemies for the split second, so they have a good idea. And even Bear finds Roki, and that's going to be another one from Choboy. He's just chowing down, mopping up the players from CPP right now.
Yeah, he's having a Friday night buffet, isn't he? He's got the late night stacks, he's got the wings. He's not even worried about the napkins because he's still going to finish all of the whole 5 pounder wings he's got in front of him. 5 versus 2 right now. And talking of that, it's 5 rounds to 2 rounds on CPP's pick. They are not having a good time, man. They're pulling their hair up.
Really are. The hair back from CPP. Not really much that we're seeing from them. A completely different squad so far on their attacking side. And this might be not their strongest side on Haven. I mean, this is their pick. But I mean, that attacking side, like I said on Haven, it is difficult. It takes a lot of coordination, and it's easy for the defense to do a lot of different plays to really throw you off. And that's what we're kind of seeing. And even the Omen from San Jose pushing all the way down long C, post it up, and look at that. Party Kid picks up a frag, but that's a lot of real estate controlled already from the defense.
It is, and with that in mind, trying to get away as soon as possible. Not if Choi has anything to do with the 3K. I actually don't remember around Choi hasn't got a 2K or a 3K. What's going on with the scoreboard? I'd love to see. What on earth is he doing? He's having a really good game. I think he might even be top frag for his team, but we'll wait for that. For the time being, though, what's going to happen here is 6-2. CPP, they must have an answer as their pick. Where are the strats? So I need to see him. We need to see him. If there's to be anything in this half for CPP.
Look at this purchase. I mean, JC's the only person with a rifle, so having the Guardian, and this is kind of a desperate buy. This is kind of, we talk about, scraping the barrel, and that's exactly what we see. They don't have a lot of money, so they're just going to go full desperation, and they push through. They get the ace sewer, but that's going to be Bear to take down 1, putting those paint cans to more work, and even they're just going to keep on pressing, but Bear able to find another before we see CPP fall back and think, you know what, this plan, not worth it. We need to rethink of a new strategy.
It's turned out to be a slippery slope as they're making their way down short A and through the sewers. Bear, we didn't see Raze last map, and you talked of duelists, how OP they can be. Right there, dropping the paint cans like a nuke, and they're stuck. It's like an invisible wall. They don't want to go up short.
I mean, at this point right now, like San Jose, they don't need to be aggressive. They don't need to be curious where these players are going to be. They have a 5-on-3. They have all 5 players alive. So they just need to be disciplined. You have 4 of your players with your ultimate and only the Brimstone from CPP with their ult. So at this point, they might just want to save. I mean, they're burning the clock, waiting things out. But really, we're not seeing much of a different change from San Jose. Kind of grouped up, still playing their standard setups, and that's very good discipline.
Super good discipline, lads. And we see last map, they didn't have the best time on their map pick, and a 3K for Bear having a cracking time. And so the rest of the gang as well. So with all of the frags you're seeing in front of you, this is a team that lost map number 1. If I told you this halfway through this map and you saw them performing, you wouldn't believe me. And it's hard for us to believe as well. So 7-2 right now, San Jose, they're running away, man. They've got 2 pairs of Nikes on with Jets in the bottom as well. It's nuts. They're going so fast.
Yeah, we're definitely needing to see CPP get some kind of a response. But now, speaking of responses, I mean, they do decide to put their investment into full flourish, as now the Vandals and the Phantoms are purchased. So a big telling round for them. Can they shift this? Look at the economy from the defense. 9K, 8K. They're laughing. They got all the money in the world. So more money, more problems. But right now, the problems are for CPP.
Point where you're going to be a bit cheeky. Chat. Hey, do I need a drop? I can drop one of my spawn if you like.
I'll leave you an operator in spawn. Just come grab it.
Quick, 3B. Lazy Dawn there as well, guys. I wonder if that's going to be a pressing issue down at Gardens at long A. Not going to be off of that one. And JC says, see you later, alligator. Running straight into side. Potentially thinking about the ult, but just going to stick with the smokes for now, and sights on lockdown. San Jose first time in a lot of rounds. They're on the back foot.
We finally see them on the back foot, and actually Bear running spray gets the one, tries to find another, but it will just be Thig by himself on a 1-on-2. He finds the head of JC, but he's going to have to push on through. Time is going to be the essence at this moment. Roki down to 4, but he's holding the tightest angle. But instead he peeks wide, but allowing Thig to pick up one and picking up another. And Thig, he comes alive, keeping San Jose on the win streak. It doesn't look like it's possible, but Thig, different plans in store.
More than a golf clap, this is a heavy-handed clap there. Congratulations to Thig. What a 3K. And you talk about climbing out of the jaws of defeat, dude. If it was like a shark that was like eating him, he was inside. He's like, nope, open up those jaws, big boy. I'm coming out. And he was against Killjoy that had their ult up their sleeve as well. So against all odds, somehow he's keeping the lead.
There.
Just great positioning. And I mean, Roki was really low, and I mean, he was playing that tight angle, but he just peaked it a bit too off. And when his positioning he was a bit too wide, sorry. So when he peaked it, it just didn't allow him to get that crosshair in the right placement. But putting that crosshair into placement, Ketchup finally getting that entry. We talked about it on map number 1, and that was their big key of success. Finally looks like CPP get that opportunity, but we're going to need to see something different, and will be fan to even get the ultimate. That it will be the Killjoy lockdown. So using it like you said, pushing San Jose back once more.
Max early here from Joy Boy. I've seen he's been a 3K master this game. He's going to go for the next 3K before he does get removed by JC. So 2-on-2. Hot stuff here, and still smokes available. This is going to be right down to the wire.
Spike planted.
2-and-2 situation. The ultimate for the breach from San Jose's side is still available. That is Thig. He could burn it. He could use the Rolling Thunder. And both of these players from CPP, they're playing in Garage. So if he uses it at the right spot, this is going to be putting these players in a bit of a stun, taking some damage. And Len posted up. There was the Cloud Burst, and it will be the Diffuse that should come through. The Hunter's Fury going to be activated, already being used, and that's going to be Thig taking significant damage, but the fake Diffuse once more. And Thig, you can see he's getting ready to burn it, and he puts it to work and only stunning the one, but look at that flash.
Oh, no.
Thig, and now he's sticking the Diffuse, and Thig, he just needs to hold the ground a little bit longer, and they're able to do it, and that's a huge play from the breach.
Yes. That is how you win a round right there, using utility to the absolute pinnacle way you can. This has been almost half a perfection for San Jose. 9-2 score for those 2 rounds. I think One was early, I think one might have been pistol, and one was a throwaway for that. But 9-2, the score that's shown right now is very, very well earned from San Jose, and what a turnaround from map number 1.
Really just flipping the script. I mean, now it's 9-2. We saw that before. CPP kind of doing the exact same thing on map number 1, but big plays from San Jose finally waking up. But that, look at that, Roki able to pick up a double for himself. So CPP finally find the opening they need, taking down 2 immediately. So they're able to put the foot on the gas in towards the C site. A long rotate ahead here for San Jose. They need to find some bodies.
This is a grueling retake.
Spike
Saying
planted.
that though, that 3 versus 1 that we did see slightly earlier on here from San Jose, it could happen again today. Not out of the running just yet. 4 versus 3, and there you go. Make that the 3 versus 2. Make that again. It's going to be a 3 versus 2. So Thig, once his part in the action catch up, he's getting another save for this game.
Thig has single-handedly put this round into now a 2-on-1 situation. It will be just down to him. This is going to be the ace clutch. He does the damage onto Ketchup, but he's not able to find the frag. Roki comes up with a quad kill for himself. So a round of individual play from both teams, but it favors for the attackers that were on CPP, making it the 9-3. Bit of a grim first half here for CPP, but they're now on that defense. It's their map pick. Is this going to be the secret ingredient?
I'm bamboozled right now from how many people have got 3Ks and 4Ks. Like, usually I have a mental kind of note. I'm like, okay, you know, so-and-so's had a couple and so-and-so's had like 1. But every player in the server right now, in that sort of top half of the scoreboard for both teams, they're popping off, lads. They really are.
Yeah, and this is the exact same score that we saw on map number 1. So, I mean, San Jose, I mean, talk about mental reset, definitely looking like they did that so far in map number 2, but wait and see, as now CPP will have their defense. Is that going to be enough for them? It will be the test of time, but look at this, already aggression onto sewers. And look at this, there's a full stack, and now even Bear and Len just cleaning it up. Lot of firefights happening into the sewer, in a very, very sticky sewer indeed. Just leaving it to 1 player of CPP left, and that's going to be Fant Classic with nothing to burn on the abilities or the utility side of things.
Bot's going to be used, the alarm bot, just seeing if anyone comes that way. Give him a little jingle, give him the alarm, and that'll be that. The bot and the turret is going to be available too. So Fant, what's the play here? Cut the turret down and go for the... It's not really much to be said, even if the turret was to go down. Not burning the util, but going out, guns are blazing, and 4 players survive for the likes of San Jose. It's 10-3.
And the one thing, you know, I noticed as well is there was a smoke that came in the dark cover from San Jose. It looked as though the smoke was not in the right spot. There was a huge gap. But I wonder if they did that on purpose, because you saw the temptation come from Fant. He was looking in that opening. He peeks very wide, and both players from San Jose were just completely waiting for him, almost like they anticipated that play. But that was intentional. That's a big IQ play.
Love to see a bit more of that from CPP. Baiting out players from your smoke, whatever agent you are. Cracking way to do it, and Len, super aggressive here, but that will be potentially putting a weapon into the opponent's hands. Not at all, because it's going to be San Jose. They're running around like deathmatch, lads. 3Ks, 4Ks, 1K, doesn't matter. No players are left for CPP. Yeah, it's going to be that sort of classic, that pistol eco, but it doesn't matter. They're almost towards match point.
This is going to be the big test of time. This is the tail of the tape, if you want to call it that. I mean, really, I think there should be enough money for CPP, but put those Phantoms or the Vandals on their hands. But they need this round. This is absolutely critical for them to keep themselves alive, keep that bleeding go down. But I mean, right now, San Jose, they're completely laughing, 11-3, and they've looked dominant ever since, and really not showing much weakness at all.
No, mate, they don't seem to have any holes in their armor, 100% as it will be, and they don't need to rebuy armor at all. They're invincible for the time being. And speak of that, the Caster's Curse has been announced. Party Kid getting the entry for this one.
Now going to be pushing through, so it'll be Nossi that is going to get the spike planted, making it a 3-on-4 situation. CPP going to be pushing through. Fant trying to find the opening. He knows the player's on the right for sure, but that's going to be the fault line that does connect but he's able to hide behind the stairs. But that's going to be the boom bot to give his position away, but he's able to pick up one, almost able to take down two, and that's going to be the Brimstone Molly to connect, but it doesn't connect on anybody else now, and it's just down to the one remaining player from San Jose. It is Thig. He comes up with a third, but he's not able to deliver the fourth, and Roki, they stem the bleeding a little bit longer.
So for CPP, good work on the retake. You talked of a buddy system earlier on, Laz, and if that's to be used, then you're going to be snagging those rounds. And for those at home tuning in, if you're a new Valorant player experience, it reminds you always just to let you know, trading is so worth. You're going for that objective, for that retake there. If they didn't have the buddy system perfectly set up, Laz, that wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked at all.
It really wouldn't have, and I mean, they just did a good job holding it down. I mean, Thig, we were talking about MVPs on the first map. I mean, look at this right now. Thig, 17-9. I mean, his teammates are really, really close, but just, coming up big for his team. And I believe he, he is the captain for San Jose.
In Harry back in the second map. You'd love to see it. That's a story.
Bomb buddy out.
We're all about those stories, aren't we, Kappa?
Love it, man, and it keeps the players fired up and wanting to go in for more, and as you'll see it, they're going in for more. They're running into the A side. There's so many bodies here. Who's going to get fragged first?
They get that site control, and actually they do fake plant the spike, but now decide to fully make it go through, and Thig actually does find the one, and that's going to be Lenda able to find another. So CPP backs against the boards again. There will be a Phantom picked up for the remaining Killjoy, but he's got 3 members to go against, and that's going to be the Breach Flash that will make the connection, but now he's stuck in the Cyber Cage, putting himself in a really unparticular situation, and that's going to be another round. That's going to be match point for San Jose. One more
Match point.
to take this map away.
Killjoy literally caught in a cage, and caging 3 players as well as that Cyber Cage, and in a cage for this map. It's match point. I haven't really had any say whatsoever aside from pistol round from CPP. It's been a struggle for them for a map of their pick. I'm shocked. I didn't think this is going to be the turnout at all.
Yeah, really not expecting to see, such a dominant performance from San Jose considering how the first map went. I mean, it was a 13-9 in favor for CPP, but it really did look like CPP was kind of bullying them for a really, really long time. But now we see San Jose. They've kind of woken up. They've figured out what they need to do. They got the rhythm, they got the jams going, and now speaking of jam, I mean, they're completely in a jam as they're going to be pushing through this site, and that's going to be Ketchup able to only take down one, able to take down another using the dismiss to get some kind of control and real estate again. A very big round from CPP so far we've seen.
It is, and this is a lot more encouraging. If they're able to keep this up, we talked of quick trades for days. Not going to happen. Not happen if you're in a form of Nasi. Omen lurking at the back of 86 HP, and over and out it will be. San Jose losing their map pick, winning the other team's map pick in the form of CPP, and that's going to be the narrative in the story that you're all looking for. Wow, what a series so far.
Yeah, what an incredible series. I mean, even look at Chow. Like, I mean, the fact 19-8. I mean, not even hitting double digits on the deaths. I mean, that's big. And I mean, like I said, I mean, we saw it was Thig that was doing some significant damage, especially as a breach. Putting that breach as kind of like the first point of contact, a little bit different than what we typically see, but really doing a superb job on that second half. And big hats off to San Jose to pull off map number 2 in that kind of a fashion.
Talking of the breach plays, and I didn't even give credit to that. You mentioned it earlier on, but I was so caught up in the pace of the match. He was almost like obviously a support, but he was popping off, putting a flash, pulling out a bit, and going back and doing a really different playstyle I haven't seen, more so of a support rather than an entry with breach. So good use from Thig, and it showed on the scoreboard too.
Yeah, Thig, the thing about breach, and I love seeing breaches in the server because you got the triple flashes, you got the aftershock, you got fault line, and of course the rolling thunder. I mean, you can't go wrong with the rolling thunder, and we saw rolling thunder being used in the best situation on that 2-on-2, which honestly changed things completely. And that's where we kind of saw, again, those big plays that you need to see. And coming from your IGL or your captain, that's huge. That's a big statement as well.
it's sort of like that fallen from CSGO if you want to talk about legacy stories. And obviously Valorant still very early on and yet to see that game-changing IGL on the big scene. But for the scene of where we are and these up-and-coming talent, definitely Thig and the gang had a very good matchup there. And talking of that, Stinker first map, second map turning, and you said flipping the script, lads. No better way to put it, mate. Literally rewrote the script, flipped it over, crossed it out, and this is actually our map, and we're going to go to map number 3. Seems to be the tale we've seen so far.
Yeah, and I mean, what better map than Bind? I mean, it's just that map. Again, I think that there's some teams that are very good on it, and honestly, we have to see how well these teams do because we saw the defensive side be a very key of success point from both these teams on both different maps. So is that going to be the same thing for Bind? I mean, we'll have to find out. But in the meantime, we are going to take a short break as we're going to go into map number 3. Make sure to stay tuned. Don't go away.
can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality.
Well, well, well. What do we have here then? Well, we have a best of 3 coming your way, and it's going the whole 9 yards, baby. To the third map very shortly. It's, I believe it's going to be Bind, if I heard things correctly, Laz.
It's going to be Bind. I mean, it's been Ascent, Haven, and now Bind. So all the way to the distance. Map number 3. What better way to go for a grand final? And for anybody that is just tuning in, of course, we are here at the CEA Valorant Grand Final for the season. So with your host, Laz, and of course, Kappa, the great-looking gentleman in the blue shirt. And these guys, they're fighting for a prize pool combination, $2,700, of course, which does get split a little bit with some Corsair keyboards, and of course, with some headsets for the second place. So along the line here, not just pride and talking about victories and taking names.
We talked about that, didn't we? That the teams that made it here, it's not about the money. And that can be a misconception sometimes. Like, oh, these teams are playing for money, they're going to play more serious. Well, there is a hint of that. There's a little sprinkle of that. But the main basis and like the bread and butter of the CEA is the competitive nature, isn't it? They're out there. They're not just packing punch in the form of, oh, I've got a swanky headset. That's all well and good. They're there for the principle. We beat San Jose, we beat CPP, and that is that. We've talked all about the teams, talked about us, Copper Frag and Laz here to bring you the vocals and bring you all the words around the teams, but we wouldn't be here without Corsair and, of course, new apparel as well. Corsair, thank you so much for providing all that gear for the teams, and if you haven't checked out Corsair, give them a go for new apparel, wear some swag and look good while you're gaming as well. Give them a check out.
Yeah, and definitely want to give a big shout out, of course, to GLG. They host a amount of great tournaments and streams as well. So not even just Valorant, but of course other titles too. So make sure to check those guys out. Great staff, great guys. And of course, they got some pretty good casters on there too. But also talking about Rogue Energy as well and making sure that you get the proper energy you need for game day, especially like a game like now. Map number 3, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I'm very excited to see where things can go, and both teams showing off very impressive victories. And now we're here at the agent selection.
We here, we made it. We're seeing it. What are we going to have for agents, though? And we talked of the 2 teams that immediately pulling the trigger and who doesn't. San Jose this time, I'm surprised they've been really hesitant on their picks. They've gone for the full send.
Yeah, it looks a little bit different here. So, I mean, the defender's completely locked in. So Nasi, you know, does go back for the Omen. Len going still to the, I'm going to call it the one-trick pony, going back to the Jet, of course. And Bear still staying with the Raze. And we saw Raze doing some serious damage a little bit on the second map there. And of course, they keep it as Breach. I mean, why not? But a little bit of question here from CPP. Nothing completely locked in. So it makes me wonder. I mean, some big negotiations happening.
Yeah, it's a negotiation desk, a terrorist hostage situation. What's happening? How are they going to make these big time decisions in the war room? 2 players left to decide, and oh my goodness, no one's making the full decision. 15 seconds. I say it like it's a countdown of a final round of like the match point. It might as well be. Who are you going to be, guys? Come on, who's it going?
I mean, it looks like it finally goes through. So now it will be a Sova. You have the Omen, and of course a Cypher. So a bit of an interesting play, and I mean, pretty close considering. I mean, just the smallest difference, and still having the Jets, still having the Sentinel, and having the Breach, which will be kind of similar on both squads. So very, very interesting, very close picks, and kind of almost a copycat.
It is, and is that to say these 2 teams that made it here so far, we've seen some differences across the reverse sweep of map picks, and it's not uncommon actually. That does happen quite often in Valorant. I don't know if that comes from a fact of players not knowing their opponents, or maybe just not knowing their own playstyles of where to fit into the game yet. But with that being said, we've made it all the way to that 3rd map. One team walks away with 1650, cash in hand, and they're also going to pick up some Corsair keyboards. And team number 2, the other team that does not get that dub today, is walking away with those Corsair headsets and 1k in money. So, yes please, for the USD, it's in both teams, but it's about that gold medal, baby. Who's going to take it? San Jose versus CPP.
And you're already CPP going to be posted up, getting pushed back already in San Jose, putting their efforts right into the site. And look at this, Ketchup comes up big, finds that first entry. He was doing that perfectly on map number 1, but now it seems like he's going to transition that so far into map number 3. And the exchange is going back and forth in the back of heaven. And that's going to be Bear going to get fully flashed from the breach. It's a complete brawl on the back of the site. Nobody's even close to the site except for one player. Very different play that we're seeing here in terms of the exchanges. And now just leaving it to a 1-on-2 situation. It's going to be Len by himself.
It's like a back alley brawl, isn't it? You're right. Ghosts are being thrown, a few ghosts are being chucked back and forth, and almost.
Oh my goodness, the knife! He ran out of ammo, completely whiffs it, so resorts to the fancy glowy knife. It doesn't work, but man, that was close.
That would have been pretty embarrassing. And you talk about that kicking the ego for the opponent. The thought of the opponent almost knifing you, man, that made me so salty, lads. First round, someone tries to knife you. Come on, have some respect.
I mean, nothing's worse than when you get killed from a knife. I mean, it just kind of gets that extra little bit of tilt. You're like, oh man, like I can't believe I allowed him to do that.
Why me? What did I do wrong?
What did I do to deserve this? I don't know, but we will see the tech pause coming in. A little bit of an issue, but I think we'll have it underway, so don't be alarmed.
Talking of alarms, we don't have a Killjoy, no alarm bot to be seen in this matchup, and I'm happy about it, lads. I'm not a big Killjoy fan. I'm gonna say it as it is. Call me what you will. I'm not a Killjoy fan. Sorry, dude.
Well, we expected in the lower ranks of Iron, so that's okay.
Listen, it's bronze, okay? Actually, for facts, I made it to gold.
Get it right, man. It's bronze. I'm bronze too, all right? I'm doing better.
I'm the shiny bad one, not the dull bad one. Come on, lads, get it right. Goodness.
Oh, my apologies. My apologies.
I've kept it off the air and off the record because it's a tough game. And from matchmaking all the way up to the further games and for money, it's so difficult. I've made it to gold. I've made it that far, but beyond that was in was it Act 2? I made it to gold.
Hey, that's not too bad.
Okay, but I'll stick to the casting because these players, they know how to play. You yourself though, you've made it. You made it up the ladder. I know you've had your fair share of one taps in the Valorant world.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I'd definitely still keep the grind going, see what we can do as a caster.
Oh yeah, dude.
But we'll have to wait and see. Not a lot going in Act 3, but now talking about things going, we will see the pause is finally over, so the countdown has now begun once more.
Off we go. Roki chucking out the shock dart, starting to get the press on Hookah, but not going to be aggressing that dart as it will be. First round, just a reminder, going CPP's way. San Jose, they need to get back in here. They had a really rough start from map number 1. Map number 2, getting it done. And what's from map number 3? Ooh, Stinger. Pressing 1. Back to the 4-on-4.
And that's going to be Ketchup. It does find that first exchange, but look at this, the raise, and that's going to be Bear. Denies the plan of the spike, and now there'll be JC to find the head of Nasi, leaving it just down to Thig. That will be the captain of this squad. Creeping him by himself. He's only got the classic, but he finds the head of JC. Oh, he makes more damage onto the other player, but he's not able to find that frag. But that's a very good round from them, all things considered, because they've taken down 3 members of CPP. So good damage, burns that economy. But now this might be the right amount of money for them to get their weapons in their hands and see if they can bounce back.
That was similar territory as well, not forgetting from Thig in map number 2. He had that delightful 3 versus 1, and he had a chance to do it again there. You saw the damage that he inflicted, and you gave it the good highlight there. Very true, and if Thig is to keep that kind of play as we get going further into map number 3 for the grand final, we could have some sick clutches on our hands. Love to see it, and welcome those kind of plays. Round number 3, Stingers on the board for San Jose.
Already catch him now. Gonna have the stinger out again. You see, Party Kid also has a stinger. a bit of a different place. So no attention whatsoever at A, but instead they actually are putting their full investment so far, it looks like, towards mid control and also getting closer to Hookah, where no defense is going to be actually near it, but instead will be actually turtling a complete line, essentially, we can see from all three of those players on the mini-map. Having the Omen going to be blocking off Hookah with the dark cover, which now leaves just the two remaining attackers on long B, but they're just going to push back a little bit. But this big player to breach, he's getting hungry. He's looking for more.
Getting that little jiggle peek as well, the jump peek, getting some eyes, and that's all he wants, Stig. He's the captain. He said, listen, I'm not going down and out yet and leaving my team on that back foot. He's got the inkling, the Hookah. Look, this positioning, perfect.
It's going to be the aftershock comes in, and Fake finds the head at one, but not able to get more than that. That's going to be Roki comes alive, taking down two, and now it is just going to be down to him. 33 HP versus 3 remaining members of San Jose. He needs to find the mistakes. He's able to find the head of Choi. He's able to find the head of also Len. Now making it to a one-on-one. 12 seconds to go. The spike. He finally gets possession, goes for the full plant, but this is going to be the push coming in from Nasi, and he finds him and makes the connection with time to just spare. And that is the round we needed from San Jose.
That is a good effort from Rocky. Doing a really decent job with the 4K, but the 3K from Nasi is going to happen. We saw Nasi turn up the volume, turn up the package a little bit in map number 2, and in kind, a 3K at a crucial time in map number 3. This is where it counts as well. So we talked of previous maps, and it's something as a player, as a caster, like, oh, there's a viewer. What map are we on? Those previous maps, both teams, it doesn't matter what kind of plays you made. See the actual replay there as well. Such a close effort there for Roki.
Here.
Not going to happen though.
Here.
Yeah, Choi just doing so much work, but it wasn't enough work. And I mean, that was a big play from Nasi. I mean, pushes through right at the last seconds. I mean, that spike was very close. They don't even get the bonus money for the spike plant either. So good effort. And actually it will be Len going to be just posted up on top of the truck. Has the knives out. Does make a bit of noise, but he's not able to make that frag, so that ultimate not going to be used properly at all. And now CPP, they've lost their members. It's a 4-on-3, but Bear, he's out of the cyber cage, and he goes for the wide swing, able to get one, but not able to get more than that. The Hunter's Fury activated, and that's going to be the spike carrier down. It's just down to Roki by himself, fully blind, and they know where he is.
2 versus 1. It's not over and done just yet. Super big challenge here. He's got to avoid all the abilities of his opponents. 40 seconds. He's got an inkling, but I don't know if he's going to land this. He's got to spread the spray between two. Big ask. Massive ask.
Yeah, and he's got lots of time too, so that's the thing. He doesn't actually need to fully commit to this. He's still got 30 seconds, so he could go around if he wants. But you can see both these players playing a little bit of a one-on-one setup, and if they peek too wide, it might not work out. But you know what? Thig just going to put that aim to work, locked in, takes it down. The Headhunter coming up alive again, making this back to a 2-2. And a good action so far from that defensive side.
Throwing his opponent into that black hole and resetting things yet again. So economy-wise, it's Stingers and Sheriff, the Shiko territory. That's what we're seeing here. Not too much else to be said. The Shiko.
Never count the Shikos out. I mean, the Sheriff is, it's pretty much like the mini operator. It definitely does the damage. It definitely can do the big statements it needs to, but you just need to lock in, get that aim precise. And now talking about the precise, I mean, Ketchup does have the knives out, so will be the jet ult from the attacker side that's going to be used. And this is going to be a lot more pressure, the hot seat to make something happen, to find that opening.
Ace. We saw it previously from Spike. Good to see it again. I don't know if this will be the round. The Spike, Omen just running into no man's land, and oh no, it's going to be for Spicy as well.
Oh no, I mean, I don't even know. I think that was the Omen player from CPP. And I'm not sure if he realized that he had the spike, but he completely kept pushing up and going into the doorway of the B hall, which allowed the spike to go down, which then just completely crumbled their plan. And even the knives from Ketchup, it just wasn't able to land at all. I don't even think he threw one.
No, he didn't. He chased his teammate. He's like, Nasi, come back, you've got the spike. And it was too late. It was absolutely too late. Bladestorm not going to stop you. See the action replay. It's like, Nasi, what are you doing? Nasi, come back. Oh no. It's over before it got a chance to begin. Not the rounds they were hoping for. in the third map of a best of 3. You've got to be making the plays, and there's no room for mistakes. Not this time.
That's kind of the nerves. We were talking about this before. I mean, map number 1, typically you get the jitters out and you warm up and everything. And now we've been completely pushed to map number 3. So even more pressure for both these teams. And it's coming close, 3-2. And even Thig putting more pressure on the Garden, still kind of being that one-man army by himself in terms of Garden. But Party Kid finds the head of Len, getting that first exchange already. And that's what you need when you're on that attacking side.
We haven't really mentioned Party too much, but consistent across all 3 maps, getting a steady amount of frags and entry for this one. San Jose on the back foot, CPP looking to get back in Thing, grabbing up one as well. So potentially 3-on-3.
Will be frags exchanged back and forth, making it to the 3-2 situation. JC going to be pushing his way through, doesn't actually spot Thig, but actually the fault line giving his position away allows him to pick up the triple. Now just leaving it to Nasi by himself. He has his ult. Using your ult in this kind of a situation, not the best you want, but look at, goes for the wide and takes down Party, but he doesn't get hit by this fault line either. So he's completely conscious. He's good to go. Now he just needs to find these players. The paranoia connects, allows him to get some kind of control, but oh, look at that timing. It's impeccable. And now the Omen creeps through, but Ketchup cleans him up, mops up that Ketchup, and that's going to be another round for them and making it back to the 3-3.
Leave no Ketchup behind, lads. Don't waste it.
Get every last drop of the Ketchup.
Essential. Don't be a waster. And both teams not looking to waste any time at all for this matchup. Vandals across the board for Party and the boys. And neck and neck it is. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This whole series has told a tale of that, and so has both of these teams climbing and slugging their way through the CEA to the stature of where they are at this moment in time. 1650 for the winning team, and talking to Len, he wants into this immediately, getting that aggressive entry, and San Jose, they've got the advantage.
And that will be Len to actually have that operator. So again, big investment, big stakes at large for them, because if they lose that operator without getting retrieval, it is going to be a big investment gone. But so far pans out perfectly. And now even CPP kind of push back a little bit. We don't even see them really getting much control. They are finally starting to get their way through hookah control and leaving just Party Kid by himself on the short A. So waiting to see what they can find. But if this can be a big frag from Fant, they might be able to get into the site. He does the damage, but Bear shuts down that plan, and now you can already see all 3 agents are just sitting in here trying to find any sort of spam. But Fant, he actually does land that shot through the wall into Bear.
How does he land that? Hit and hoping. Hit fires straight down. Gonna get him into this round, but the 3 versus 3, 30 seconds. Tooth and nail, lads. Tooth and nail.
30
Yeah,
seconds
these
left.
shambles right now, and I mean, if it's back to a 4-3 situation, Party Kid finds the head of one, finds the head of another. Now he's just cleaning up the house of the players from San Jose. That's going to be the ultimate. It's going to be used from Fant, so that's going to be locations revealed, so they can get themselves in the right positioning. Spike's going to get planted in the nick of time, leaving it just to the 2 players from San Jose left. It will be the Cypher ult on San Jose's side that they can use. And it will be Len. He does have an operator, not the weapon you want in a clutch situation like this. Completely pinched on the doorway, and a lot more pressure for the Cypher to come alive.
I know exactly.
Ideal for Len. Somehow, though, Choi is going to land a spray down through. They're going to grab 2. So if they're able to get this, they could finish the round, and they will. How do they make a 2 versus 3 like that? That is nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Man, the adversity from, San Jose, impeccable. I mean, Len was able to pick up the Phantom at the right time, which allowed him to get that spray and picking up 2 frags. And that was Choi. I mean, that frag that he picked up in elbow using his ult was completely just kind of the big success point for them. And look at this. You can see on the replay, the ult comes through, and then now he's just spamming away, finds the head of Party Kid, is peeking a bit too wide, and then Fan just kind of hanging out there, and he's just hoping to find something. But Len, he picks up a triple.
And that's solo performance. Complete solo performance. Both the Cypher and the Jet there, they are separated completely. So turning that one into something that should not have happened, San Jose, that's a moral victory, lads. Who cares about the round? That's a massive moral victory.
Now that victory Seeing if they can keep it going. And Minu and Chow, he's looking to find another head, but he's not able to. And Ketchup gets his name going. It's still being spicy, picking up more frags. The blast pack comes through, and Bear finds one, but now going for a second, making it a triple kill for him. Now the spike is going to be down, leaving it just to the breach by himself. Burns the flash, but Bear pulls up the quad, finds the head of JC, keep their streak alive longer.
Ding, 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 ding. 4K chiming in there from Bear, the duelist, and he's dueling, baby. He's going in, and those satchels, when players are storming through U-Haul, he just kept them at bay completely, and he didn't use his ult, lads. He had his ult for quite a while. He just trusted his aim, and aim's the name of the game.
And that's a tough thing. I mean, when you're in those 1vx situations, and you know, especially for a breach, do you want to burn the Rolling Thunder? Do you want to use it at that moment, or do you want to save it? And that's the kind of the unique thing about Valorant, is that there's all these timings when you want to use your abilities, and it's just that tough decision you have to make. But I mean, talking about tough things, I mean, look at this. Len finding that first frag again, putting CPP back, and they're not able to get that first frag that they typically do.
It's a head shaker, isn't it? I was about to say, Len's been, you've said bullying CPP right now, and CPP formerly, they were bullying San Jose, but stepping up to the plate, Len, he wants to have a go here, give it a whirl, and he's got most of his entries, grabbing another, and removing that Ketchup.
Oh my god, look at that! It's a triple with a headshot on the Fant, and that's the spike down, and they're not even near it. I mean, they are, but they're gonna have to contest him. They're gonna have to fight him now.
But he's at that static angle, lads, and that's it. That's what's so mind-blowing about this. He's holding it, but he doesn't care. He's got a 4K.
What a shooting gallery for Len. I mean, must be feeling so good about the way he played that round. I mean, he was just honestly able to pick up every single player individually. We should be able to see this instant replay. Look at this first shot, and then we see it again. Look at this flick. Just finds the head of Fant. I mean, disgusting. And that's not a good position for the spike to be in, because now they both realize they either needed a wide swing, but they timed it kind of incorrectly, which allowed Len to pick up another frag, making it a quad for him.
It's like Call of Duty Warzone. Now you've got like that bounty on you and someone's hunting for you. That's what it was like against Len there. But he was like, you know what, guys? I've had all of my rogue energy and I'm good to go. My aim's on game, and he's making another aggressive peak. So you spoke of Ketchup in that first map. Let's going back to the architecture of both the playstyles. You can see Len, his aggro peaks. He's taken in kind to that, and he's been very successful.
He really has, and I mean, they get the position gain that they need to. And look at this, Choi picking up a double, and Bear helping him out. Bear doing some more damage, leaving it only just down to 2. I mean, CPP, unless we can see them find the connections, they pick up, you know, a Phantom in reward, but really not much to expect here from Phantom unless they find the mistake of these players. But no, that will be Choi. He's going to be choing away as he's able to pick up a quad.
Bro, how many 4Ks have we had from San Jose in this game? So many.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, map number 3 coming up big. Every single player just pulling their weight, making big statements, trying to get those highlight reels. And like we said, don't forget to clip these moments. There's some big plays that we've seen from every single player. First Len, now Choi. Who's going to be next?
Super good question. We've had an ace in this best of 3. We've had countless 4Ks, and hopefully you're enjoying the show so far. Cover Frag and Laz here for the CEA Valorant Grand Finale, 1650 for the winning team, and Corsair Keyboards. And for that second place team, they're taking some cash home as well as some cool headphones. So, no losers today. These two teams, both winners, both of that caliber. But I asked you the question, who's going to win this one? San Jose, they're looking formidable right now.
San Jose really seem to have their groove. I mean, 7-3, pulling through big on their defense. All the players pulling their weight, and Bear, he's going to need to pull some big weight as he will throw that blast pack. Going to slow things down. That's going to be ult. That's going to be activated, and that's going to connect. But Choi able to find another, making it a double. The guy, he's a complete criminal. He's just running through his opponents, leaving it just down to only the Jet, and that's going to be mopped up again. That's a triple. Choi's now come up big twice in a row.
Choi, boy, the triple lads. He is getting all of those triples, baby. Might as well be Phoenix triple, baby. He's not, but he's landing all of those. I'll say it for him. I think that's 2 or 3 rounds back to back, and you put that right back, Laz, to that mental 2 versus 3 clutch that we saw over on the B-bomb site, spike site I should say. It's not stopped, has it? It's not stopped at all when he's climbing for that top frag. What's that? It's 9 frags for him. It could have fooled me. The kind of frags he's getting, they're crucial.
I think he was a little bit quiet in the beginning, and I mean, just the fact, picking up the triple, picking up quad, I mean, it adds up. But I mean, like you said, it seemed like he was definitely making some bigger statements with bigger numbers. But we're gonna need to see those numbers be bigger for the attacking side. 8-3, we're going in that last round. If we can see CPP pull something through, this can be a decent start considering. But we need to see them do something a little bit different. And even Len, you can see trying to be a bit different on their side, and they already lose 2 of their members. That will be the neural theft going to be activated, which does reveal the location of the members. And now San Jose, they're just down to 2, Kappa.
San Jose not been in this territory. It's unfamiliar territory for the half so far for them, but Joy getting back in with the Odin, the Phantom in kind of Phantom double down. It's a 2 versus 1, Les. They're slipping.
The spice to be triple spice, and he's able to find the 1. And he makes the 2, he does!
What?
He pulls up the round! How does it work? How does he make that connection? Ketchup spicy, he does what he does best. Pulling the spice through and making it 8-4.
Oh man, Clutch King. He really has been the Clutch King, the ace, and he's going to get that 2K in the face as well. What a play. We're going to see it back here. And it wasn't from a bad retake there from San Jose. They did really well to even out the playing field there. You see this frag, and off comes this way. Like, okay, no problem, but it's all down to catch up.
I mean, look at this. We can see this is still the replay. He goes a little bit, finds the head of Choi, and then he just finds that shot onto the Omen. Phenomenal connection. And then the one thing we notice is like all the players are kind of peaking individually, and I mean the defense were able to kind of run through it pretty quick. But hats off to Ketchup to be able to keep his team losing that round where it really looked like it was completely in their favor.
Good point though, lads. Losing their hat and their heads at the last moment. That's what's going to happen in a grand final. You've made it all the way adrenaline super high. You've not got much gas in the tank. You're running on fumes right now, and it's a 4 versus 3. Such scrappy rounds, and Bear, he's trying to go on the flank here.
Chow now going to be pushing through. Party Kid hanging out inside of Lamps, but just on the other side will be Chow, putting that classic decimation, trying to find another, but he's not able to. Bear wins that exchange. Bear still looking for a few more, but it will be a 3-on-2 situation. But both players on San Jose, they're very low, so they need to find the right timing of this. But look at Nasi finds the 1. Can he get the second? This could be the big round they need, but he does some more damage. But now it's all down to Bear. He's by himself, but he's not able to make the burst connect. Fant, they keep it going, they keep themselves alive, making it 8-5.
Fant's 3K, turning things into a wicked start for the CPP boys. San Jose are on top so far though. 8-5's the score. Had a really good first half, but at the rate it's going, if pistol round does go as we see them for that second, you said the new pistol round, are we going to see that false up and potentially that flip around for the second round of the second half? If you're just tuning in, thanks for joining us. This is a grand final, so both teams, they're pretty tired. They've been going ham, and they're chugging that rogue energy. They're not done yet.
Fighting for the bragging rights, fighting for that first place victory. 8-5, map number 3, completely going the distance. And San Jose putting all their attention towards this B long hit, grouping up together. They only have pistols, so they're going to try to take this as a squad. The Suicide Squad, and that's going to be JC. They're going to be throwing the flash, going to be stuck inside the tube, but Fant just going to be on the other side of the cyber cage, but he's actually going to get caught in the crosshair of Len, and now the spike getting planted from San Jose, so this will be a good money bonus for them. And it looks like CPP finally responding back, and it is going to be the judge to judge that round, which allows CPP to pull another through.
We haven't even seen the judge go into a big play at all, and it's going to be the Wrecker Cruiser, that cleanup crew, coming through for the round number 2, winning the pistol and converting the 1 to follow. So, able to keep momentum going for the time being. We did see it in that first matchup. CPP running away for like it was a 13-9, but there were 9-3 up at the half. So, team full of substance, and they've got that comeback in them.
Now the big investment comes through San Jose, putting their money where their mouth is, as well as CPP keeping their bonus round in their hands. And look at this. This is actually a full push, and Ketchup, he finds that first sick frag. Now gets a little bit of a retaliation back, but these are good exchanges. And like I said, they don't really have the strongest weapons, but they're really doing the damage.
Scrappy doesn't have to be pretty, and as you're seeing it, rougher and just an understatement of 2020. 4 versus 3. San Jose are on the back foot here. They do manage to slap that spike down.
In 3-on-4 situation, CPP, they're going to be grouped up inside of Hookah. This is a complete massacre. They're completely congested inside of Hookah, but Bear, he's got the Phantom. He might be able to spray them down, just kind of waiting, spraying his way through, but finds the head of one. Now looking for another player, but that's going to be Fig. Making it to the 1-on-1 situation. Len, you need to just burn the clock. Fant, time is the essence, and he knows this because the spike is ticking, and he's going to go for the wide peep, but the dash pulls out. Victor Len completely throws off Fant, not able to put that crosshair in the right direction, and San Jose, they pull it through on the skin of their teeth.
The Speedy Gonzalez play coming out from Jet and San Jose. They're just inching towards those double figures, and they want it now. No time to waste. We're going to see an operator, though, jump into the hands of CPP, into Party Kid's hands. I don't believe we've seen him off yet, Laz.
I don't think we have. Like, I mean, we've only really seen Len that's been kind of that big-time opper so far, so having more ops, not something we want differently. And Party Kid makes it work. So the investment panned out well so far. We'll see if we can find a couple more. The Cloudburst going to be a bit of that one-way smoke temporarily, but now Party Kid able to fall back and reposition himself inside the site using the teleport to get back in that heaven control.
And that is how util can make the difference. Doesn't always have to be for the aggression. Hey, it could even be just to get you the hell out of dodge. That's going to be Party Kids opt for this one. Op in from heaven and just taking it easy. So that can be it, isn't it? You get that entry and not over-aggressing. The cat push is happening, though. This could be for that B play there. Or A, I should say.
Now the op being a big nuisance once more, and Party Kid puts it triple, taking down Choice. So now one remaining player will be Bear by himself. Doesn't have the spike, but he does have the showstopper if he wants to use it. Now this is that critical moment where you want to decide, do I use my ultimate or not? But Party Kid finds the head, finds the connection with the quad kill nonetheless, making it now only 2 rounds behind for making this a 9-9 game.
The op. It's the op, the Party Kid. Why have you not been up in all game or all series? I haven't even seen pick one up at all. Somehow, though, gets the 4K, and we've got a closet upper, ladies and gentlemen, making it happen. If we see some more of that from Party Kids, we've got a dub for the CPP lads on their hands if we can keep that momentum going.
It's amazing how different, somebody having the operator in their hands can really just change the round. I mean, Party Kid's been quite, quiet, all things considered, but then comes up with a quad. I mean, that's a good way of using the op and really change things around. And it does kind of really, kind of put that thorn in for these guys, because now they're going to have to rechange their plan. And you can see they don't have any weapons. So really at this point, they're just hoping for the spike plan.
It ruffles feathers. It ruffled feathers, to say the least. You're like, well, what the hell was that? We've not seen him up all series long. And all of a sudden, it's been thrown in your face. The worst experience, and something they're looking to turn around to. This one, though, bit of a throwaway round for San Jose. Not too much to be said. Maybe a Bladestorm frag or two.
Will be then, but not able to make the Bladestorm work. And I think this is now the second time we've seen that. I mean, they get into the site. The spike's going to be there, but it's going to fall. Not able to get this plant yet, so making it a 3-3 situation. Now things are getting interesting. Fant going to be using the neural theft, so gets that information, but now the spike's gone through the teleporter. The Cypher from San Jose, he's got the control in the site. So he's allowed to communicate to his teammates that the site is free, get the spike down, but it's going to be the post plant that's going to be very important with the weapons they have.
What a rotation, and talk about a bamboozle. 3-on-3. If somehow San Jose can get double figures from an eco like this would be ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Got the frenzy, you got Fant getting really close into lamps, and that's gonna be the double Big Mac meal, but the showstopper doesn't make the connection it needs to, but that's going to be Choi able to find it. Now going to be using his ultimate, so location revealed. Oh, but Party Kid and also Spicy, they don't find the right chance, and San Jose, they make something out of nothing.
How many times have they done that this series where they're down and out? We've literally written them off. We've given them the payout for their car being a write-off. And they're like, actually, it still drives. They drive it with 3 square wheels right to the race at the finish line, the checker flag, lads. This is crazy.
It's complete mayhem. I mean, and now we're going to see Party Kid still have the op in his hands. We're going to see Len putting the op in his hands. So both teams have an operator. For both their players, it will be who can be the dominant opper. Ketchup Spicy gonna use activate the Blade Storm. It hasn't been very successful in this map number 3, whereas before we definitely seen it kind of be that playmaker, you know, opening up things, but really kind of quiet so far in map number 3.
It's kind of sad, actually. The Blade Storms have not been put to work after that sort of collab we got in map number 1 Descent. I was like, okay, Blade Storms all night, please. But yeah, it's not been too successful. Talking to Blade Storm, Ketchup Spicy, trying to add the extra dash of spice onto that already spicy ketchup. He's had a good series so far. A little bit quiet for the later 2 matches, but still a couple of clutches here and there. That's all you need in the world of Valorant. 50 seconds, still 10 players left. You can hear a pin drop, lads. It's so much tension.
Tension is high. You can definitely cut it
Cage triggered.
with a knife. And now will be Chow to push his way through. Choi gonna be getting a little bit closer and closer. It will be JC. Gonna be stuck and get actually hit by the rolling thunder. So gonna be burning his flashes because he's definitely thinking they're getting closer and closer. Spike gonna be down, making it the 5-5. Choi is able to find JC. Finally looks for another, gets down Ketchup with 2 strong players and trying to look for more, but now location revealed. It's gonna be Party Kid to make that op into connection. And all 3 players, they're sucking B Hall, and they need to get going.
Oh, they're stuck in elbow. They're going to get elbow to the face for what it's worth as well with 4 versus 3 CPP. You've got to get in. This is your round. You've got to defuse.
I mean, at this point, I mean, it's a 4-on-3, and they just need to save. They need to keep those rifles for this next round. They realize they don't have enough time. They don't have any control. So they're going to have to allow San Jose to take this. And this is going to be 11th round for San Jose.
Out of all the rounds, I get why they did that, and that was an option of the play, but for all the rounds to be forced into a save for economy, that's gotta hurt. That really, really does.
So now they're going to have to just completely force buy so that they can match the weapons that they do have. But this puts more pressure for those players that saved those rifles. They now have to do something to come alive. They need to find that opening to allow a weapon to be picked up from their opponents. But San Jose, I mean, this is looking like cruise control right now for them.
It is. They're on the highway. They're going a little bit above the speed limit and saying, Carl, you take the wheel, and it's a team effort that's taking the wheel right now. San Jose, it is effortless, and from a team that had more than a sluggish start, it was an abysmal start on Ascent. They turned it around, a few rounds in the bag by the end. You would not have put your vote to be on San Jose. He's not over yet, though. We've seen clutches and lights to catch up. He's not out of the server just yet, and he's still got a few more rounds to turn it on. 1 minute, TikTok.
Len pushing through into washroom. He's got the op. It's going to be 1 member right behind him. It will be Ketchup, going to be posted up. Does have a stinger. Done the damage before. Finds the head of Chow. Looks to find another. Oh my goodness! He makes it work! And now he gets rewarded with the Vandal, but Bear makes it going to be only that. Making it a 3-on-3, and now JC going to be on the rotate. The spike should be planted. Now just putting Party Kid by himself inside of A tower. He looks at the wrong time. The smoke dissipates, but he doesn't have a lot of ground to work with. He needs his teammates to kind of get that information and push through so that he can make something work.
Fan. So for that retake, and talking to CPP, there's another frag from Fan for the retake. So coming on Catwalk, he's not worried at all. Breach, able to get it done from the terms of JC and CPP. They're still in this game. Clutches are available, and we literally just hyped it up, and Ketchup, he's not letting us down today.
And the funny thing about Ketchup is, I mean, just has a stinger and seems to find the right timing, the right precise angle to have with the stinger. I mean, the fact that he was able to pick up the one, what's the classic to get the second. I mean, you've already done what you need to do with a stinger. I mean, stinger's almost like a one-done deal. Like, really, you don't really expect too much with a stinger. It's 20 bullets. It seems like they burn so fast, and it just looks so easy for him.
If you haven't played Valorant before as well, and you're like, I'm not too sure how the Stinger feels, jump in, free to play for Valorant, or perhaps if you played CSGO, bit like a Mac-10, but you've got less bullets, don't you, lads? So you've got like 20 bullet magazine to work with, you can't be missing your shots, and he turned around and classics an opponent for that second frag. So if that doesn't show confidence, I do not know what on earth does, but confidence, it doesn't matter. Proof's in the round, proof's in the pudding, and that's where CVP need to put it right now.
And able to find two, and he puts the counter aggression in the garden. But look at Bear, he's trying to find the back of these other players. Roki takes him down. Will be JC to push through the cyber cage, but he walked right into Bear. The spike gonna fall inside a middle, so just leaving Bear on his lonesome by himself. One is the loneliest number, and it will do right now as he's able to pick one, tries to look for another, but he's completely sandwiched as Fant takes down for a triple. And CPP, they're making their comeback.
They most certainly are on the comeback train, and they must sustain it right now. 11-9 is the score, and from what it was at half, upward climb, and it's like a vertical limit here for CPP. Getting it done though. They're knocking at the door and trying to see if there's a couple more. I think someone just tried to unlock my door. Talking of people trying to knock at the door, but don't worry about my door. We're going to worry about the door that Choi's knocking at. Pop it off. He's got 2 headshots of wallbang to start things off, lads.
How does he find these openings? Like, how does that happen? It seems like CPP, they win around and then they get overconfident, and it's completely backfired on them. And even Fant, now he's going to have to do something. He's going to have to find more. And look at this. He finds 2 all of a sudden, making it back to a very close situation. What a back and forth game from both these teams.
Both round in a row as well, lads. Talking of Fan, keeping the topic, he gets the 2Ks every single time he's in that 2 versus 1. What player could do that? Not everyone. Not your average player, but no average players here. 3 versus 2. This will put San Jose on match point for that 1650, the Corsair keyboards, the Pog champ, everything. And it looks like it's going to be another save, lads. Not again. Not again.
It's a tough decision to make. I mean, fans are really low down in the red. And I mean, Party Kid does have the operator. So do you want to risk it? Do you want to potentially lose it? I mean, and it's a difficult site to retake. It's not like A, where there's a little bit more opportunity, different angles. B, it's very cluttered and really tight, but they decide to save it. They're putting it all into this basket. They need to now pull 3 rounds in a row to making this into a tie game, whereas San Jose, they just need 1 more to take this best of 3 home.
It's CPP, they've sold the house and they've put it all into the next form of DVD, Blu-ray, whatever it may be. They're hitting, hoping and swinging right now. Talking of San Jose though, how have you got to be feeling now, lads? You were down and out from map number 1. It was your map pick. What a turnaround, and not going to sing that comeback story just yet, but 12-9 is match point. San Jose, surely this is it.
I mean, for San Jose, it's been a bit of a Cinderella story. It was kind of looking a bit grim for them, but now found the glimpse of glory. 1 round away from taking things home. Going to be posted up. They're going to get that hookah control with not any fight at all, and that's going to be the Omen from CPP. Going to be taken down. The Showstopper going to be activated, and that's Barry. He is able to land that frag, takes down Fant, and now it will be Roki to find the connection with the Hunter's Fury. The spike finally making its way, advancing to the site, gets planted. But we're here at a 4-on-4, and it's all down to this.
No one's made it into sight without a little bit of bloodshed. Some bullets being exchanged, and that's it, isn't it? 4 versus 4. All or nothing. Choi Boy says, nope, you're not coming in. Nope, you're definitely slamming the door in your face. And it is going to be to this 3 versus 1, all on the lonely likes of Breach.
And that's going to be Thig to get the final blow, allowing San Jose to take it home 13-9, 2-1. Congratulations to San Jose for winning the CEA Grand Finals.
Super massive high fives all round. Pats on the back, hugs. Not with COVID though. We'll keep the distance, fist bump for all it will be. Bear though, 26 frags that game, Laz. 26, loads, almost a 30 bomb.
Yeah, that's a big statement. I mean, Bear, 26 and 16, that's what you want from your Rays. Choi right behind. I mean, 19. We'll call it right behind, but I mean, as a Cypher, really pulling up some numbers. I mean, 371 combat score. That's filthy.
I think that's the best we've seen all series long as well. Ketchup did come very close to that. I think it was 324 for the first map with the ace as well. But let's get down to the bare bones, the details. Congratulations to the lads at San Jose. What a turnaround. You said Cinderella story, Laz. Let's take it and roll from there. Man, they put both the shoes on and they're laughing. They're having a great time.
I mean, hats off to San Jose. Like I said, I mean, they lost the first game, and like I talked about mental reset, you got to figure out what you need to do differently. And look at that. I mean, we saw it. I mean, CPP was definitely putting up some big rounds, big fights. But I mean, when we look at the scores on the bottom that you can see right below our lovely faces, I mean, 13-9, 13-4, and then of course going 13-9 again. These are close games. I mean, we'll say Haven's not so close, but 2 games out of the 3, man, that's going to be draining for these players.
Super draining for these players, and props, man. Complete props to every single player in this server. We've been through our fair share of Valorant games, and we've seen all varieties and shades of skill. But for this matchup today, what an absolute bloodthirsty battle royale. 4Ks, 3Ks, 8Cs, 1 versus 3s. Dude, it's a blur. It's like I've been casting a million tournaments all in one. I tell you what, it was quite the experience. But for the prizes, let's give a little highlight for that, and then love to talk about who put this on for us as well today. For the first place, 1650 for take home, Corsair keyboards as well. You having a good time? Great weekend.
Yeah, not a bad way to start your Friday off, getting some cash, getting some free gear, and going to be the champs of CEA and the Valorant season. So again, you get the bragging rights, you get the cool prizes. I mean, man, doesn't get any better than this. And I mean, like, you know, again, second place, really close prize, right? I mean, you get some headsets, you still get some cash. I mean, you get $1,100. It's still great. But you know what? You know, if you're San Jose, I mean, you're definitely feeling really good, especially from the way that these games were going. And I'm still kind of blown away. I honestly am. I just can't believe the big reset that we saw from this squad.
Yeah, it literally was. It's like your router, if you like do the factory reset, we've done that before. You just press the power button, it all starts over again completely fresh. San Jose had to do that 2 games in 8 row. They had a terrible first map. Somehow, you said flip the script, Cinderella story, whatever you will want to use to describe it. Cracking job from San Jose, GG's from CPP, and thank you so much. Just to highlight our sponsors, Corsair, great to have you. Thank you for providing all the goods and lovely stuff for the players. And also, I'm going to give a shout out for GLG. Phenomenal professional tournaments and streams, great casters, great talent in the form of the rosters you're going to see. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to, of course, the esports apparel, Rogue Energy. We talked about GLG and Corsair. I mean, definitely big shout out to all the sponsors for making this possible. And make sure to check out everything on their websites, guys. It's just here on the top of the graphic, as you can see. So make sure to support them, because without them, we wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be these fancy prizes. So big shout out to the sponsors. And I definitely want to give a big shout out to the production crew, as well, the observers and everybody involved. I think it was a great time. I really hope everybody enjoyed the show here so far today.
Hopefully so. And before we let you go anywhere, Laz and I, we are on that caster grind, and hopefully you can join us on that as well. Feel free to join us on the socials. Should be underneath there. And a cup of frag for myself, and at Laz will be for your socials as well. So give us a follow, and hopefully we'll catch you very soon, if it's not for CEA, elsewhere in the Valorant realm.
We are just going to be waiting to see if we are getting an interview. I see the chat is completely spamming for it. So just waiting for the production. So we'll just talk a little bit about the games, and I mean, talking about, you know, which player we'll interview. I mean, that'll be kind of the big determination for us, but it's kind of hard for me to honestly narrow down who I thought was an MVP. I mean, it's hard when we don't have the stats like completely in front of us, but I mean, like I said, Ketchup, the ketchup spicy is on map number 1, easy pick. But then Bear came alive on map number 3, and then just map number 2 is kind of all around a big performance from almost everybody.
That's it, isn't it? Really, you had 10 people in the server. I don't want to say one was a favorite because everyone turned up at individual performance at one point in the series. So it would be completely unfair to put one player. But statistically, yeah, we'll have a look and we'll have a chinwag about that. We obviously had that memorable ace from catch up early on, and that's when we're like, whoa. This is the kind of talent that's playing in the finals. So the hype worthy, and we went the whole distance indeed. Let's check in and see. Get that interview going. Love to have a few words with the guys in the server. What's happening?
Ooh, I think we have our first member in here, and I believe it will be Nossi. How you doing, Nossi?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Good, man, and big game, and congratulations to you guys.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I don't even know where to start. I mean, let's just talk about map number 1. I mean, 13-9. It didn't go in favor for you guys, but what was the mindset? Were you guys pretty frustrated, or walk me through that whole process?
So pretty much, Ascent is a map we do tend to practice a lot. We did try a new setup that we have not tried, so it's of course going to be hard when you're not really getting the scrims on, the dry runs on. You know, we're just trying to piece together the Ascent. So like Ascent, it was tough, but I think our attack for Ascent was really, really good. So that led us to get us a good start into the next match, which is Haven. And Haven is definitely our strong suit. We tend to scrim on that, and I don't think we rarely ever lose on Haven. So that's huge. And then with all that like confidence going in from Haven from a 13-4, we go straight to the 13-9 and just play our bind and play the best we could.
And no doubt, man, that's definitely what we saw. Laz and I have said it again and again. Bamboozled, I think, as casters and as spectators, like what a turnaround that was. And you've talked about definitely you sort of took that momentum into the second matchup. But I have to ask, there wasn't an ounce of salt. There wasn't one player being like, man, this isn't happening. You lost your pick. That's such a hard mindset to shift. Is there like one tip you give to a player that's up and coming, that's trying to get into that pro and semi-pro scene? What's that pivotal thing to say, hey, keep your head in the game? What keeps you on track to keep fragging?
The thing is, as short and sweet as I could say it, just saying like, you just can't tilt. It really just is that, like, having a team that is so supportive behind you helps so much as well. We're all like, hey, it's not about the frags. It's not about the kills. It's about doing what you need to do, and the ground will go our favor. That's like, if you look at our scoreboard, it doesn't matter about the frags, but if you do what you have to do, smokes, whether it's a Sova Dart, whether it's a Raise Nade, whatever it is, if you do that correctly, the rounds will go your way. So, to keep it short and simple, you just can't tilt, and you just have to really put your back on your team because they're going to have your back as well.
Teamwork makes the dream work. You heard it from Nasi, you didn't hear it from us. No bias at all, and that is very well said, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
The one thing I'm just curious about too, because I believe you guys actually did pick Ascent. I mean, when you guys lost the map pick, did that really affect you guys? I know you mentioned that that attacking side started building that momentum, but was there any frustration, or were you guys feeling pretty good considering that the map didn't go in your way?
There probably was a little bit of tense here and there, but we just had that confidence going into Haven. We knew Haven is our strongest suit, so like we couldn't really tilt off of that.
I mean, I definitely don't disagree. I mean, like you said, you guys, I think you might have surprised CPP as well, because they picked Haven. So, I mean, I was expecting them to put a bit of a, more of a bigger showing, but I mean, you guys took a 13-4. Like you guys had no issues at all. It looked like it was smooth sailing from your guys' end.
Yeah, that's just how we play Haven. I don't think anyone can beat us on Haven. Simply.
No doubt, it was a stomp, and that's something that we were completely taken aback by. And with the momentum game that is Valorant, and it's a coin toss, isn't it? It's you lose that first map, and you've got to keep that gear going forward, and you did just so today. Do you guys scrim quite a lot? Is that something as a team you do on the regular? Are you pugging more? What's the training?
I think we pug a lot more than we scrim. With school and different schedules and everything going on with COVID and finals and all this stuff going on at this like next couple of weeks, it is hard to get scrims in. But I mean, like everyone just runs their pugs. You know, we'll go into competitive, just play with the friends. Like just going into a pug with 2 or 3 of the teammates, like just builds chemistry as that. Like, you know, having fun with each other, and that just helps us to go into the tournaments and not be like too tense. Like we'll always like be like, you know, laughing here and there, but get serious when you need to get serious.
And that's it,
Great.
man. You guys turned it on, and you've got some cool set keyboards to talk about that with. So
Yes,
super,
sir.
super massive. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you so much. I'd just like to shout out the team. Thank you guys so much. You know, we had a great run. There's still many to go. And I'd like to shout out Teddy. He's also our other teammate who was unable to play in this tournament. Shout out Teddy for everything. But regardless, shout out Choi Boy IGL. Shout out Nam for making these games happen. And put SGSU on the map because we're coming up.
That's actually going to be my last question for the evening for you is what's next? What's next for the boys? I mean, you guys take the victory. You got #1 spot. You got some cash. You got some keyboards. What's next for you guys?
We just want to do this on a daily basis, play every possible tournament we can do, and try to win every single tournament that we can do. That's simply all we want to do.
So
Love it.
You're telling us look out for San Jose, yeah?
And yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Heck yeah.
Sounds great. And thank you again so much, Nasi, for tuning in. And it was great to
Anytime, guys.
to you. And congratulations to you and the boys.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too, bro.
Yeah, you too. Well, Kappa, that's going to be the end of the show here. But again, just want to give a big shout out to, of course, the production and the sponsors. Thank you. Thank you to the viewers for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves. If you did, we'll make sure somebody in the chat will spam our socials. Give us a follow. We'd love to be around in the scene more often than we do. But I think that'll be it unless you have any closing arguments. I don't even arguments, statements. I don't know why I said
I'm
arguments.
arguing. I could argue. It's a bit late for arguing. Maybe I'll save that for our next cast. But for the time being, I will leave it at again. Yeah, thank you so much for having us here, CEA. It's been an absolute pleasure. Corsair, New Apparel, GLG, Rogue Energy. Excellent stuff. And until next time, hopefully, I think I'll be 2020 for the next event. Not too sure, but stick with the CEA calendar and check our socials. And hopefully, we'll catch you soon.